Yeah.
So
we in here.
We are in here.
What's happening? Go.
There's a mishap. Oh, I gotta actually set my.
No, really. Set you what? Who did what?
No, I gotta get because we can't see the comments in here, so I gotta set it up on my other screen.
Yeah. Fix it. What up, Biddy?
What up, Biddy? And then I gotta. You
don't know what you got.
Set my phone up.
Ah.
Shoosh.
Yikes.
Set my phone up so I can hear when I have to leave to get some more water or go to the bathroom. That's how I be doing it, B.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there
we go. Bruh.
Actually, the tune you want to be humming is the one that Stink Man will be humming. That's the one. That's the one you need to be humming. That's right. I backed into your car. What you gonna do, nigga? What you gonna do? What up, free nigga?
What up?
Yo, I do kind of want to start watching. Like for me, it's the first two seasons. Really, it's the first season. The first season is a classic to me. The Boondocks first season. Like it's just too many quotables. It's too many quotables. It's too many. Too many. When Rowley was trying to assassinate Santa Claus. Listen, that's one of the funniest. That's one of the funniest episodes.
Thanks.
Oh shit! I want to see that again. Where can I watch it? I don't have none of it on my hard drive.
It's on Max.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you fucked up. You done fucked up.
Yeah, Warner Brothers owns Cartoon Network.
Right.
Which is Adult Swim.
Right. Okay. We need that. I need that in my life. I'm about to do this intro though. That's what I'm about to do. Me.
You?
And me too.
Oh.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You.
And I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. So it's another week has gone by.
It has.
There are no tanks rolling down my block. How about your block?
You don't know that.
That's true. I haven't been outside today.
Right.
I do kind of feel like I would have heard.
Now with the newest technology, my guy.
The
newest technology. Whisper quiet.
That could be true. That could very well be true. However, I'm expecting them any day now. And mostly because of my internet shenanigans.
Sure.
There is over 20 years of shit they can find that they can label subversive as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? From videos to fucking blogs, fucking Facebook posts and all that other shit. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm good with that though.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I must be really good with it because I've been doing shit that I haven't usually done or haven't done in a long ass time because for what? And that's commenting on news articles.
Mm-hmm.
That's not some shit that I do.
Right.
But it's just the level of things that are happening so fast now has caused people to lose what little senses they have. And they say shit. And when I make the mistake of looking in the comments, I see some of the most absurd reasoning and takes and misinformation and outright just biased bullshit. Don't get me wrong, some of these articles are biased as shit too. So it's basically one the snake eating its tail and shit, right? But some people are fucking dumb. And
come on,
they really are. And I think my level of tolerance for it is thinning to a point where now I'm on there just cussing motherfuckers out. I'm like, yo, saying shit like this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
You know what's funny? I don't even remember what it was about. Chrissy made some post, and somebody said some shit, and I was sitting next to her, and I was like, yo, you know this motherfucker?
Yeah, right. Because it's about to be hyena
time. Like,
time.
no. I'm like, oh. Shut your dumb ass up. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are we, like, I don't remember what it was, but of course he never responded.
Of course he didn't. Of course he did. That's the other thing about you bitch ass motherfuckers. I'm going to say this too. Y'all get on these women posts,
bruh,
and y'all be talking in ways you wouldn't talk to a man. That's some cornball shit. And just know that makes you everything they said about you.
Facts.
Everything they said about you. But I'm going to tell you like this. Especially when it comes to me and mine. I better not see you get on Yetta's post and say something crazy. I better not see you get on Chris's post and say nothing. Wow. I better not see it. I better not see it. Because I'm throwing away all decorum.
Nigga. I ain't never been good at decorating anyway.
Great. This guy is ass. Fuck that. Like some of y'all be talking crazy. Like, and here's the thing: you don't need to do that. Like you don't really need to do that.
No, it's not necessary.
You don't need to do that. Because
to be clear, in this situation, I overreacted. He ain't say nothing about Chrissy. So, it's just the dumb shit that he said was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, don't bring that over. See, I'm telling you what it is, bro. Like some of these motherfuckers ain't been punched in the face in a while. I'm telling you, that's what it is. And I know everybody doesn't listen.
What up, Cindy?
What up, sis? I'm telling you now that we went through that little era of time where the thought of somebody getting punched in their face caused y'all to have hissy fits online and shit. That's so violent. I am telling you now that the human animal is violent, and I shouldn't have to tell you that.
Facts.
You have history, you have both past and recent that can testify that. Some of these motherfuckers are not going to be dissuaded by a talking to or a strongly worded letter.
Right.
Some of these motherfuckers need to get punched in their fucking face and know that there are consequences to the shenanigans you pulling.
What up, sis?
What up, sis? There's consequences. And the lack of consequences is what got motherfuckers getting all out of their body and shit. Like fences make good neighbors. So does a good right hook.
Yeah.
It makes good neighbors. Because I'm gonna tell you, that's the other thing about the whole internet era that we in and been in for years now, is that y'all done got too accustomed to doing this without having to do this or this shit. Like y'all got too accustomed to that. Before that, people didn't measure their words when they talked to somebody. They measured their words because they didn't want to get into a combat situation because it does inconvenience you, even if you win.
Right.
It inconveniences you, right? There's people trying to call the police now on you. Depending on where you are, you can lose your job. But you got to worry about the get back. Because even if you beat this motherfucker up, he might come back with, what's that shit? What's my man, the battle rapper? One nigga bring three niggas, four niggas. Like that what's that, O Solo? That listen, that can happen, right? So people measured their words when they spoke to one another. They really did. But the internet got, especially people that grew up with this was already a thing when they grew up. Like Like that shit got y'all getting out of y'all body way too often. Way too often. And some of y'all alligator mouths be writing checks your hummingbird ass can't cash.
Thanks.
Like y'all sitting there spaghetti armed and shit, but you got muscles in your fingers because you're doing all this. Talking about like classic example. I saw this and I'm glad he eventually walked away from that sort of thing, but it didn't stop the fact that his offline activities got him jammed up. Casanova.
Yeah.
Casanova,
I found it.
yo. Like,
so
go ahead.
Chrissy was basically expressing one of the days of work that she had where basically every client was like just upset about the Trump shit and all the stuff happening.
Oh yeah, she did mention that. Yeah.
So some idiot said blame the media and politicians, not Trump.
He's both media and politics. Yo, what the fuck, yo?
So I like I said, I was sitting next to her, like, hey, you know them? She's like, no. I'm like, all right. I got shut your dumb ass up. Like, what are you talking about? Fucking idiot. Anyway. My bad.
Nah, man. Like, the nigga Casanova, yo. Casanova's a real nigga. He was out there. He was doing, and he said on numerous occasions he felt like he took somebody else's life when he got famous from rap. It's like that wasn't even. So he got in trouble. He was still doing stupid shit out there. So he got jammed up, right? But one of the things that I wanted for him was because he wasn't used to the online culture of motherfuckers running their mouths, motherfuckers, he would absolutely beat them the fuck up, right? In real life, beat them the fuck up. Can get online and talk crazy to him, right? He wasn't accustomed to that, so he was feeding into a lot of it, and it got crazy. It's the same thing with his beef with 6ix9ine. Like that's right. Literally what that was.
Right.
This bitch ass nigga, right? That he would absolutely beat the fuck up, right? Talking crazy to him, and he wasn't accustomed to that. I think somebody pulled his coat. Somebody pulled his coat and was like, yo, listen, I get it, but that's the culture online. And you're not going to be able to win that way. So he stopped getting into these back and forths with other motherfuckers online and shit. But I understand why, because when you came from a time that was before all this was as prevalent as it was, you're used to interactions that are a little different than that. That's not something you're accustomed to. It took me a minute to get accustomed to that shit. Because I started getting online around 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying it then going, I just say the cast on, I will beat you the fuck up, right? But how? You're not going right. This is not the nicest nigga from Nebraska. Like, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll beat you the fuck up. No, you won't.
No, you won't. You won't even be in the same room.
You'll never see me.
Or you gonna say, kiss this avatar, nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you gonna do?
You mad, nigga? Stay mad.
And you gotta fix
let that shit get to you.
You're right. You gotta fix it within. You gotta fix that within. That you're not gonna be able to fix it that way. Believe me, I get it though. I understand. I know. You be saying them because you know, you just know that person is doing that. If he's from where you're from or anywhere in the area where you wouldn't recognize him in real life anyway. Yeah, he's this mousy, mousy ass dude, unassuming.
The opportunity to reach out and touch someone, the conversation would be very different.
Very different, bro.
Sean P.
Like, you got to fix that within yourself because you're not going to fix them.
What up, Bowflex?
You're not going to fix that with them. Nah, fix it with you.
Nothing to do.
Then you can do it. This is the other reason, by the way, when it comes to fact checking people. Like, you don't do that for them. You do that for the other.
Yes, Marissa said, yo, back in the day, if somebody heard you was talking shit.
Oh my!
I show up.
Yo, I've showed up at niggas' houses. Yo! That's a good ass point.
That's
like a good ass point.
That Fab was telling about one of our ex homeboys that was just talking shit about me for some reason. No incident.
Shit.
No tough shit. Nothing happened.
Right.
Nigga was just talking shit. And Fab was like, all right, let's go get him.
That's norm.
Yeah.
That's norm. Like, yo, I'm not gonna mention names. But one incident in particular, this had nothing to do with something this person said directly to me. They said it to other motherfuckers. And then I hear it. I go to his house. I knock on his door. It's like, yo, they telling me you running your dick holster out here about me and shit. And it was over some shit that happened at school or whatever. He denied it. No, man. I had no evidence that he did it. So I was like, yo.
You brought both of them to the same place and you
said, no.
A lot of lies been told around this tape.
No, I should have done that, but I didn't. Instead, what I did was I was going to give him grace.
You can't give him grace.
I know y'all don't know what the fuck we laughing at, but why that's so fucking funny. You can't give him grace, right? I turned around to walk off the porch. And instigating ass nigga Kelly say, yo, we laughing at shit. Yo, I turned around so motherfucking quick. I think
you understand how unlikely it is that nigga was actually laughing at you. I know. But in the moment though, like I turned around so quick, I think my feet were still pointed towards the steps, and not because here's the thing. Think about how odd and unrealistic it would be for any nigga, to be laughing at you right at that moment. Like the toughest nigga in the world.
And why didn't I hear it?
It would be really unrealistic.
And why didn't I hear
laughing at you?
Why didn't I hear the snickering or the giggling?
Right.
But all it took is for him to say, yo, he laughing at you. I turned around and plowed him in his face like dead center. Bop! He starts falling back. I snatch him by his collar and bring him back. Kaplah! 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 That last punch, no, the second to the last punch, hit him. His head hit their mailbox. Bam! I hit him with the last punch, knocked him through the door. Yo, this nigga had barely hit the floor when his grandfather, his older cousin, his mom said they came rushing out the door. They ain't put their hands on him.
A lot of noise, nigga.
It was a lot of noise. I think the main thing was his head hitting that mailbox. So they talking all this shit. I get down off the porch. We call the police. I'm like, all right, that's what's up. So I walk from Hilton Street, that part of Hilton Street, to I forget what 100 block that is, but it's right before you get to Emerson Avenue. Walking down there, I knock on my man Herbie porch. I'm in the door. Bam, bam, bam. I said, yo, I just beat Brandon up on his porch. They probably gonna call the police. If I go to jail, beat him up every day you see him. Herbie was like, all right, yo. I come down off the porch, go just a couple of feet. Here come the police. Grab me, put me in the car. He doesn't take me down to the precinct, because that's what they was doing back then. They take you to wherever the local precinct was. They didn't do that. He took me around the corner to my house. And who was waiting around there? The nigga's mom, my mom. You just said, pulls me out the car, and this to show you how he was trying to make me look as bad as possible, right? That boy, the side of his head was leaking. Abraham leaking part. Like that shit was leaking. They didn't clean it. They ain't put no bad. None of that. They just to make me look as bad as possible, right? One thing led to another. Joy didn't want to press charges. That's his mom. Right. They gave me this thing about you stay away from him, he stay away from you. And that shit lasted for years, bro. Right. Years. Until one day, I'm sitting on my porch. He comes walking down the street. He stops in front of my porch like, yo, I mean, that was a long time ago, man. We was kids, blah, blah, blah. Like, we can't still be mad at that. I said, I'm not mad. Like, what the fuck?
mean, listen.
I'm not mad.
I'd have had to give you an opportunity to beat my ass again, because there's too many people involved at this point. It's too many people involved at this point.
There's a lot of people. It was a lot of people involved.
What are we talking about?
You're right. And the block saw it. And,
yes,
and what they told, what I was told, I wasn't there because I had left the block. What I was told, the house down the street, it was 2 kids there. I just talked to one of those kids a few weeks ago on the phone. Of course, he's a grown-ass man now. Talked to one of them on the phone. They were saying they had just bought these new big-ass trash cans, plastic trash cans. This is what motherfuckers was telling me. While the police was down there talking to them, these 2 little boys at the time were hiding in the trash, poking their heads out every now and then going, such got his ass beat.
You understand how that would have been my villain origin story?
Facts!
It's too many people involved. The nigga that lied on me and said that I was laughing.
Yeah.
That nigga gonna get it.
Yeah. He ain't want none of that nigga, though. He'd have had to go get somebody. Like, go get somebody for that nigga.
Whatever tools that I have to exercise.
Come out there with a rake and shit.
Listen, nigga. Whatever tools I have to use.
Yo, my nephew did that shit. My nephew came out there swinging at a group of niggas with a rake because they was trying to jump his boy.
Right.
Like,
whatever you said.
Hey, nah, nigga.
Y'all lucky that's the only thing I hadn't read.
Yeah, facts. They are. They are. But you're right. You're right though. Like if the shit was different and I was on the other end of that, B. Because first of all, what happened to him was a crime and a shame.
Nigga.
He got beat up on his own porch. Let me tell you something, bro. There were conditions that everybody knew was never supposed to happen. You don't get your ass beat on your own porch when your mama's standing there.
Facts.
I will kill you rather than take that L in front of my mama. That's not happening. That's not happening, right? He did both of those things, yo. He got beat up on his own porch. His mama, his granddad. It's like, nigga. And he probably didn't say nothing. He probably didn't.
No, probably not. But I'd have been Jigsaw after that.
But the thing is, it wasn't outside. It wasn't outside of the character I knew for him. That's why it was believable, right? Sure. Like it wasn't outside of that. Like if it had been somebody who I'd have been like, y'all, absolutely not, absolutely not. Right. That wouldn't have went that far. But yeah, displayed some behavioral similarities to what motherfuckers was saying, right? So,
sure.
But even then, I tried to give him grace. But again, as we've said,
really.
I was walking away.
Yeah, but that's not. No, nigga, that's not.
I was walking away.
The adult in you can acknowledge that you were wrong. You were dead wrong.
I was wrong as shit.
Yeah. But obviously, in the moment, it's a different situation.
I was a kid. I was in high school. I was in fucking high school. But like I said, in my mind, I violated going up on his porch and actually I could have waited till he was out in the street, all that other shit. I could have did that.
Sure.
But that's a norm though. That's a norm.
Right.
That's a norm. He said, what? Going to this nigga house. Yeah. That's a norm, at least for back then. May not be the norm now, but that was the norm, right? But me turning around, turning around to walk away, that split second right there, that decision right there to me was the grace I gave him.
Sure. But again,
I was willing to take his word, was what I'm saying. Yeah, it was Fleeting, nigga. I don't even think fleeting might be too long. Like fleeting might be too long, big. Like for real. Like, cause as soon as I heard niggas, oh, he laughing at. Now, if you'd have saw that in slow motion, it would have been my facial expression must have been fucked up. Like, I know this nigga. Oh man, you know what he ended up doing for a living afterwards when he got older? He worked at a funeral parlor. He worked at a funeral parlor and shit. Because I killed the street cred. But look.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Something would have had to happen.
Right. No, you're right. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Because if I was in his shoes, yeah, something would have happened. Yeah. Nigga came on your porch.
Bro, it's too much.
It's too much. And then your parents called the police. In the hood. Your parents called the police for over a fight.
No. You're not being specific enough. Your parents called the police about another little boy.
Yeah.
That just had hands.
That you could have fought. You could have got out there and just tried to fight again. Yep.
All he had at that time was hands.
That's it. Yo, I didn't have a gun. I had no knife, no bat, no golf club, none of that shit. None of it.
The way that wouldn't have slid in my family.
I know, yo, right?
What do you mean? No. What you do? What you mean what I do? What did you do?
Right. After.
Yeah.
Like when he did that, what did you, bro, I'm gonna tell you. What's up, Discord? I had that conversation. I had that, I was like maybe 6 or 7 with my grandfather. Because some shit went down and I ain't carry it right. And it got to him. And forced me to go out that motherfucker. Nah. I was more scared of my grandfather than this nigga and his cousins. Because that was the thing. Cousins. I lived in the block where he lived there with his cousins that lived all around the block. And I was like, I'm basically alone and shit. I'm 7. I'm 7 and shit. Man, my grandfather heard that shit. We went around that house. He was like, yo, get your ass back around there and beat that yellow boy ass.
Well, see, now, I was never that direct with my little ones. Mm-hmm. My little ones, it was, all right, now we got to go back around there. All right, go ahead, dude. Y'all got to hash this out.
Yeah.
And then after that, handshakes.
Yeah, facts. Handshakes. I had to do that with my nephew, my oldest nephew before, because I'm coming from the corner store. I'm coming up Denison, the 400 block of Denison, getting ready to go down to the 400 block? Yeah, getting ready to go down to 300 block. And there's a church right there, right? At the corner. And I see a bunch of little niggas out there rumbling. They look like they rumbling with one person. And I couldn't see who he was, so I got there. It was my nephew. I was like, hey, you little motherfuckers. And I start going over there. They start running. I said, what you running for? Nah, no, come back. You got to remember, my nephew is short, has always been short for his age. But he always had that Wolverine mentality. Fuck it, we gonna fight. He always had that. But they was jumping on. I was like, nah, come on back. They came back down there because they had an adult. They came back down there. I said, I don't know what happened and I don't care. Right now, he about to fight all of you niggas one by one. That's what we doing. Only one of them little niggas stood up. And Roderick leaped on his ass. Bloop, 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 bloop. Next. They walked off and shit. And I told him at that point, I said, nephew, where your boys at? You getting jumped by little niggas around here? You don't got no boys in it to watch your back to make sure shit don't go down like that? I believe that was his villain origin story right there. Because that's when he started having a bunch of little homeboys. And the thing about it, he would go hard for his niggas. He would go hard. Even times I thought he shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Right, he would go hard. He would go hard for him. So that might have been his own story right there. But nah, yo, I had to tell him, like, nah. Because that's what if one of my uncles would have saw some shit like that happening to me, that's exactly what the fuck he would have done.
Yeah.
Like, no, y'all not jumping them. They ain't jumping them. Fight them one on one, each one out, 1-on-1. Come on. You will find a lot of the times them niggas pussy. And they had the courage of numbers.
Yeah.
You know, my nephew had to go through a bunch of shit when he was at Rockland. Motherfuckers he was literally on the bus coming home from school, and some little nigga, like his sister is sitting in a chair, not directly in front of him, but there's a person there and another, then she was there, right, in another seat. The little niggas, they playing around too much, and they grab his sister by the neck from behind. Roderick grabbed them by the neck from behind, but not with his hands. He started alphabeting that nigga. L. A. You know what I'm saying? He started alphabeting that nigga, right? They got kicked off the bus. There was a whole bunch of shit going on, whatever. But nah, he went through a lot of shit up there until he had cousins up there he didn't know was his cousins. In the moment, I saw my cousin Teresa on the bus. It was her kids that was up there. They hadn't been around each other. I'm talking about the kids, how the kids doing, blah, 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 how your sister kids doing, blah, they doing good. She's talking about where they go to school at. Yeah, Roderick go up Rockland. Roderick and Kivana go up Rockland. She's like, my kids go up Rockland. I said, for real? Like, yeah, they got to meet. they got to meet. All that jumping shit was out the window after that. Nah. Now, of course, you can't jump. You couldn't jump any of my sister's kids because she has a lot of them, and they will absolutely fuck you up. They will absolutely fuck you. They have no problem with that shit. It's too many of them. And I'm telling you, them niggas look like the Jackson 5 out there. I'm telling you, it's too many of them. And the niggas tall now, too. All them niggas tall as shit now. But that's a little off target. I know you motherfuckers saw the title of this episode. So I'm making that transition.
All right. So I got to do this. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it in full.
Yes.
But let me get this. Let me get this off from my TikTok.
Absolutely.
I'm being lazy, and I was gonna make the video yesterday, but I never got a chance to. So why the fuck would I record it twice?
Facts.
So I try my best with my people. I love my people. With this Target thing, I've largely stayed away from talking about it. Yes, we talked about it last week on here. But that was to cover the story specifically about Tabitha Brown's remarks and the fallout from that.
Yes.
But here's why I've been quiet about it personally. I can't boycott Target. In my 37 years of life, I may have stepped foot in a Target maybe 20 times. That number is only that high because I am accounting for the potential that I've been taking there as a kid and just don't remember.
Facts.
You can't boycott something that you don't use. Yeah. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
Also, I've been seeing what the community had been saying, and aside from the blip with this stuff with Auntie Tab, we seemed to be moving in the same direction. So I shut up.
Right.
I happen to know that successful boycotts take time. And given the time that they generally take, I was hopeful that we would figure it out with this whole wave of energy that's going on right now.
Right.
Fun fact, the Montgomery boycotts lasted for 381 days.
That's right.
Now, some of you silly-ass, non-serious individuals got the nerve to go on TikTok saying that because of the boycott, Target is being sued and they have apologized. I am embarrassed because we don't read and we don't source shit
at all, B.
That's not how boycotts work. And where the fuck is this apology? The sheer amount of videos that you will see right now, if you go on TikTok claiming that Target apologized, is staggering.
It's
But
crazy.
look in them comment sections. You see countless people asking, where is the apology? And I haven't seen one creator give an answer or a link.
And you won't.
But several of them are responding to other comments. Now, this makes them worse than the lot I was talking about that don't read and won't source.
Facts.
Yes, they fit into that category too, but they are brazen whores who are doing this shit for the engagement, or even worse, being paid directly by somebody to spread this misinformation.
Right.
Go do some damn research and stop spreading this false shit to our people and undermining what is going on. Now, notice I said go do some research. I didn't say go do your research.
Right.
Because that's not how that works.
That's not how research works.
You're not good at any form of research.
Right.
It's not a real thing generally. And I understand that, but we gotta do better than this. So one of the people that was talking about this shit, like, made a matter of fact, let me see if I can show this goddamn video. Says, what are you speaking about? Where we at? Oh, here we go.
So, woke up this morning as I was getting myself together. I'm still getting myself together. Baby, I heard the Target had an apology for everything.
No, didn't happen. Not a real thing.
No.
You can't find it anywhere because it doesn't exist. So I went into her comment sections, bunch of people. This didn't happen. Where is the apology? What are you talking about?
No, excuse me. What the fuck are you talking about?
Ignored most of those. Actually, all of those at that point.
Yeah.
But comments like this
going,
isn't how boycott, this isn't how boycotts work. And she's like, oh, ye of little faith, you don't understand the power of the black dollar. Shut your dumb ass up. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're not being helpful. The Target lawsuit is about a group of people. I don't remember if it's a police union or some shit. I can't remember. It's about a group of people who got together and they sued Target on the basis of their DEI initiatives being misleading and them not being made aware of the potential backlash that could come from it. That is the headline. You will see a bunch of versions of that as a headline. The problem is, because of what's going on, a bunch of people just see that headline and interpret it for themselves, right? So, by the way, Discord, I don't remember if you, I don't know if you heard me last week. They own Shipped, so even if you get something from somewhere else through Shipped, you're still supporting Target. But again, that's neither here nor there. But like, what are we talking about here with this lawsuit? We are talking about a group of people who invested in Target before Target started the DEI initiatives. Sometime, I can't remember what year, it was a while ago, something happened around Pride, and there were protests. And when those protests happened, Target's stock plummeted. I don't remember how many percentage points it fell, but whatever. I think it was like 21.
One thing I just need to. So the reason I had to leave is because I heard something collapse.
Oh, God.
I go and see what it was.
Stop. Kitty time.
It was their water thing. It was full of water. It was working. Why would he smack it? It's water all over the fucking place, and he's standing
No,
there
yo.
lapping the water. You see these hands?
Because he was thirsty. Oh,
If he was thirsty, it's all that, he just could have sat there and drunk the fountain of water it's coming out of. I wanted to choke him with these hands, but I realized that you get in trouble for shit like that, right?
you.
But I really wanted to wring his neck. I'm sorry. Continue. Jeez, man.
Very frowned upon. You can't do those things.
You
can't do those things
because he's a cat.
Because he's a cat. Absolutely, that's the reason.
I'm gonna start using that reason too.
No, I mean no. It doesn't work for your purposes. No, doesn't work for your purposes. But yeah, I think it was like 21%, which is not anything that's.
It's not. It's not.
No, it's a significant percentage. But again, that had nothing to do with black people. That had nothing to do with Trump's making the government agencies rescind DEI, which then caused some type of issue. Yeah, that has nothing to do with that. But the thing that they were saying in the lawsuit that had to do with that stuff was the threat of a potential boycott / protests.
Yes.
That is what they were arguing about. It had nothing to do with any boycott, because again, in the little time since
you wasn't going to see
Target has denounced it, you would never have seen the result if 100% of us were on the same page.
Right.
In that little time, we would not have seen that result.
Right.
That's how that works. That's not how boycotts work. That's not how financials for businesses work.
No.
You would never have seen that result.
Mm-mm.
So, again, on top of that, there was no apology. Let's talk about what actually happened. Right. So, Target is claiming that it was always the plan for this initiative to end in 2025. I cannot confirm nor deny because I'm not about to do that research. Again, I don't have skin in this because I don't shop at Target.
What I will say though is I have I'm like SBJ. I can't confirm or deny. But what I'm going to do is simply say they're lying just off the break of fuck them. So I'm on that petty shit right now. So
the idea is for the layman, apparently, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I fucked up. Blame my memory. I meant to mention this last week. A part of this, I didn't have all of this information, but some on the here's the thing.
Probably Discord, because that shit is older than just this year. That Project 2025 shit is so probably.
They on the podcast. Here's the thing. Thank you. Come on stage and that shit. Angel mentioned that she knew somebody that either worked at Target or knew somebody that worked at Target that said basically they're renaming it to something else.
Interesting.
I meant to bring that up last week. I forgot to bring it up last week. I apologize for that.
I would love to see the particulars of that.
You can look it up. It's on their website. It's called what is it called? Belonging, or some shit like that. Yes, honestly, it's just that. Fuck them. Hell yeah.
Exactly.
And so the video that I watched that was explaining this whole what up, cuz?
What up, cuz?
The thing that I was watching that explained all of this shit with the
kind of this is early for DJ to pop up, right?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. It was explaining basically what was on that. It's on their website. Like I said, it's on their website right now. It went up on the 25th of January, I believe. So I believe the idea that they're trying to push is that they were always ending DEI, and this was the next natural evolution phase of that particular thing, which by all means, absolutely plausible.
A lot of things.
However, you handled it wrong.
And this is what a lot of these motherfuckers don't realize, yo. They don't realize that narrative is important. When you put something out and how you put it out is important. So again, when there's a certain environment where these things are being cut, people are feeling put upon. They feel like they're losing rights. When that thing is out there, and then you just do that, and you don't communicate it in a way that makes people understand that we still value diversity in our
Right.
shit. Because in truth, I kind of feel like the reason they're changing the name and evolving it and all of that does have to do with branding. Like right
Yes.
now, Trump fucked the branding of that whole thing up. So as soon as people hear that, they associate things with it that's not necessarily true, right? So just change the name of it, but it does the same thing. I ain't got a problem with that. But again, I don't know that that's the case because I haven't read the shit.
Wow.
And initially, my response is always, fuck them.
Here's the thing. The very first comment that I saw on that TikTok was Costco didn't have to try to hide nothing. Very first comment.
Hold
Costco
up.
ain't had to try to hide nothing.
Where the lie? Where's the lie?
Hey,
Costco came straight out like, what?
We're not doing
it. Doing that dumbass shit.
Now, I was so heartened by this video because comment after comment. Yeah, no, it's too late. No, we're not doing that. Blah 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 blah. So I felt all right. I got the site.
Right, sis. Right. Marissa said facts. Now it just looks like a gimmick.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Belonging at the bullseye is what they're calling it.
They're calling it what? Belonging.
Belonging at the bullseye, because you know their logo is a bullseye.
Right.
Because Target, you know. Anyway, belonging at the bullseye. At Target, we drive our business by aiming to create a sense of belonging for our team, guests, and communities through a commitment to inclusion. How do we do it? By building a team that represents the millions of Target guests and their needs. By creating joyful and relevant experiences for all consumers to feel welcome and excited to shop with us. And by building meaningful relationships within the neighborhoods we operate, because when our communities thrive, our business does too.
No.
Inside our strategy, when we champion growth, belonging, and opportunity for all, we meet the needs of our consumers. Are a destination
Like
for
what?
the best talent and drive strong business results. Here's how we do it. The Target team, we recruit and retain a talented team that reflects the communities we serve. That helps drive a team culture where we care, grow, and win together. Target's guests. We create joyful experiences through our broadly curated assortment of relevant products and services that help our guests feel seen and celebrated, increasing relevance with consumers. Target's communities. We build deep and lasting relationships in the communities we serve, driving impact, economic vitality, and connection that fuels loyalty. Equal employment opportunity. Target is an equal opportunity employer that prohibits discrimination and will make decisions regarding employment opportunities, including hiring, promotion, and advancement without regard to the following characteristics: race, color, national origin, religious beliefs, sex, including pregnancy, age, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, citizenship status, military status, marital status, genetic information, or any other basis protected by federal, state, or local fair employment practice.
This what I'm thinking too, sis. Sis said legal had the final edit.
Oh, without question. Listen, that Discord, that is impossible. That is not how anything works. I appreciate your extreme spirit, but that's not realistic.
I still want him to keep that. Keep that.
Oh yes, that's why I made that's why I made sure to say I appreciate your extreme spirit.
I need
keep that energy.
Yeah.
It's not realistic, but keep that energy, because the more people say things like that, the more people pay attention and things happen.
We need that energy.
So here's my thing with this. Let's take this shit at face value, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt.
I thought they were already doing that though. Like what I just read, I thought they were already doing that. That's my point.
So let's stroll down this hypothetical alley, dark alley.
We after we do that, we're gonna talk about the language of what they did right there.
Oh, absolutely.
I can present some things where this is absolutely the disingenuous shit that Trump and them is saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the people with whom we are in a war are stupid in several ways. They're not stupid in the way that basically their ability to understand and decipher things is amplified by their hatred and their greed
Bingo.
and their desire for power.
Bingo.
You changing the name of this initiative does zero. It does nothing. All right, let me be charitable.
Okay.
The best case scenario with you changing the name is them having to admit more plainly what they're trying to do. Best case scenario. That still doesn't fix anything. That doesn't help with the problem, because if you hear the outrage, you know that a lot of people already know what they're trying to do. So effectively, this is just from a business perspective. You fucked yourself because you caused this outrage for nothing. Again, saying that they're operating at face value and all that other shit, which I'm being charitable on. You've done all this for nothing, which equals a net negative. Because what was the point if, as you claim, this is the same initiative?
Also, just so we're clear, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 states that they prohibit the discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. It's important for us to understand what that's talking about. That's discrimination in employment, housing, and other public accommodations, right? So you need to understand that the stuff that they're trying to get rid of, that's the teeth, the enforcement part of it. Because so they can say very disingenuously, according to the laws on the books, nobody's discriminated against. But the moment somebody is discriminated against, there's no recourse.
Right.
There's no teeth to the shit. So when I hear that statement and they're saying, we are going to basically like hire anybody based on merit, this is the same shit that these motherfuckers are saying, but we know they're being disingenuous because the reason those things were placed in there in the first place, mind you, 1964, that was already outlawed. That was already outlawed in 1964, right? The reason why those other things were put in place is because people weren't adhering to the shit.
Correct.
They were absolutely, and accessibility too. They were absolutely not adhering to the shit. They were still doing forms of nepotism. They were still doing forms of racist shit where I don't want no niggas in here. Oh, I don't want no women in here. Oh, they were still doing that shit. Still doing it, even though in 1964, that law was passed. So more laws was needed to be the enforcement part of it.
Yeah.
Because if they do it, then what? What you gonna do? That's the whole thing. What you gonna do?
And the thing about this is unenforceable.
Right.
Completely. The
Right.
only way that you can have a consequence for this is if you're egregious with it.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me. All right, I'll just use an example, a non-corporate example. Do you understand the level of talent and creativity that exists within my circle?
Facts.
So if I somehow one day get tapped to do some big production for something, right? You can't tell me that having Tim on a camera is or is not nepotism.
Right. Because you say he's a professional photographer and videographer. The motherfucker that shot commercials.
He's been doing this shit for years.
Years.
What are you talking about? I have proof. I can go to his YouTube page.
Right.
I can go to my YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
I can go several places and show you examples of him doing this very thing. But he's one of your best friends. Yep.
But he's also qualified.
So like, it's not enforceable unless you're egregious with it. Now, if I love her to death, but this isn't what she does.
Right.
If I made Chrissy
right
photographer on something. And obviously, all right, she doesn't have any experience with photography.
Right.
He has nothing that you can point to that shows any merit in what.
Right.
All right, but why would anybody ever do that? Yes, it happens. Don't get it twisted. It absolutely happens.
But it only hurts your business.
Right.
It only hurts your business. But that's the other thing. So, the main focus of people that own and run businesses is to make money.
Nigga.
Inefficiency costs money.
Mm-hmm.
Putting somebody in place who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing is going to cost you money in the long run, especially if the time it takes to train them in that period of time, it takes too long. There's money lost, all of that shit because of that. Nobody wants to bring somebody in there just because they look a certain type of way if they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
No.
Nobody's trying to do that.
Right. But if somebody is close in skill, you might go with the lesser if you have any other previous positions.
Facts.
It's very simple. If this motherfucker has, let's just to put a number on it because I don't feel like doing the math. Put a number on it. Let's say Toom has 6 years of experience doing this very specifically at a professional level.
Right.
And there's a motherfucker that got 10 years of experience. But I don't know that nigga from Adam or Eve. Guess who getting the job?
Right. Right. Right.
But let's make it more malicious. Let's say I hate blue aliens. And there's a blue alien that might got 10, 11, 12 years of experience.
Right.
And I see this black man with a family that has goals. I'm like, nah, I'm going with him.
Right. Right. Right.
Sure. But
how can you?
The idea of a meritocracy is impossible.
Not only is it impossible, it's never been.
No, it's never been.
It's never been. And that's the thing. Like, I find it funny how for years they have been restricting access to certain careers, education, all of that shit for years. Not based on whether or not the person had the potential in far as education to learn this shit and become an expert in that. Or in the case of jobs and employment, they're not qualified at all to do it. No, simply based on the fact that they feel a certain type of way about certain demographics, or they hold certain biases about certain demographics. So they go and they get people from demographics they feel comfortable. Sometimes it's not just because, all right, for instance, white business owner sees Asian, whatever, black, whatever, he chooses the Asian because of bias and stereotypes about Asian work ethic and education and all that, even though that black person is every bit as qualified as this motherfucker and has worked every bit as hard as this motherfucker, right? But these biases. To SBJ's point earlier, these things are hard to assess because if you do that, you got to read the person's mind.
Yeah. There would have to be a pattern.
Yeah.
And it would have to be egregious at some point along that pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really the only way.
the meritocracy is horseshit because none of you going to tell me that the motherfuckers he's been putting into positions are qualified to do that shit. Nah. They're mostly not. All right. So it's never been. It's not about that. It's a word they pull up because some of this shit is the narrative of the zeitgeist, right?
Yeah.
When you hear black person goes for the job, or they clearly couldn't be smart enough to do this.
The idea that any particular group of people, not even talking about black people,
Yes.
any of those classes,
Yes.
the idea that any particular group of people is inherently good or bad at a particular thing
Is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
Like, what are we talking about? That's not realistic. How, especially if we're talking about
Oligarchy
people who
equals
grew up
mediocrity.
especially if we're talking about people who were conditioned in this country.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk about a foreigner, recent migrant, whatever the case may be, maybe there might be some intricacies of the specific job that may be a burden or have a hurdle to it. But if you're talking about somebody cultivated here, given all the other things that are necessary for that specific job, there's no way that belonging to one of those classes is going to make them more or less qualified for that specific job, unless the job has to do with that particular class.
Right.
There's no other way. It's not how that works. It's ridiculous. It's whatever the derogatory bigot equivalent is of that class.
Yeah.
What is black people
absolutely.
Can't do this?
Oligarchy does not equal meritocracy. It just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Facts.
It just doesn't.
If you want to say, oh, well, gay people can't possibly, that's definitely homophobic. Yeah. If you want to say, well, these people have mental disorders, that's definitely ableist. Like, what are we talking about? That's not how any of this works.
Right.
Having a mental disorder is not a catch-all.
Right. Bowflex says, if I'm slightly less qualified than X, I could still be chosen because as a veteran, companies get tax cuts. Exactly.
And that's exactly into the law.
That's in the law. Right.
So by that definition, meritocracy goes out the window.
It's capped.
Now, again, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
It doesn't have to be.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Again, the problem comes in when either there's a pattern or it's egregious.
Yeah.
That's where the problems come in. And particularly for us, it has been a pattern and it has been egregious.
It's been egregious, it's been a pattern, and it's been so fucking obvious that when I see people act as though, whatever do you mean? I know you're being disingenuous.
There's no way around it.
Right, like you're being disingenuous.
You repeal affirmative action and the black acceptance rates don't change. Why? Because white women were always the biggest beneficiary of affirmative action.
And we're always going to be.
Right.
Because of the fact of their dual status. They have a dual status.
I would say more specifically, when you are at the top of the mountain, you want to do whatever you can within your power that maintains power to get people to join your side.
Absolutely.
So, you're women, but you're also white. So that don't mess with us that much. Come on in.
Yeah. And again, numbers help. Yep. I said it the last time we was on the show. Mm-hmm. There are more than twice as many white women as there are black people in this country. Right? So
and that, what was it, 53%?
Yeah.
They mattered.
Right. Right. I mean, it is what it is with it, but I really don't like couple things to the point of the show. It's like SBJ was saying, you gotta do better, because if your attempt to push back against all of this stuff that's been happening is to spread information, you don't do that by spreading misinformation.
Correct.
Notice I didn't say disinformation because I don't think you're doing it on purpose.
No, it's not always intentional.
Right, it's not always intentional, but you're not helping, because what happens is this is the quote unquote marketplace of ideas. If your things you express to be fact turn out to not be fact more times than not, you lose credibility in that
Mhm.
marketplace, and that means you've given them a permission structure to ignore you when you could be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need that part of this. We need to be on point. Now, to be sure, there are other things that we need to do.
I mean,
It ain't just being correct when you speak on there. It's
Right.
other things we need to do. But that is a big part of it.
it's
If
huge.
all you niggas intend to do is talk.
Right.
If all you niggas intend to do is talk, then
You
you
gotta be
should be
right.
correct about
Yeah.
what the fuck you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And to be clear, talking is a very viable.
it's important.
Yeah.
It's important.
Absolutely.
I ain't
Absolutely.
downgrading it. I'm just saying
All right, both
we need some more. All right, Bowflex. We need some more tools out of the toolbox than just talking. But talking's important.
Talking is very
Get that part right, because if you can't get
Absolutely.
that part right, I question the other tools.
Bruh,
Your ability to use those.
we live in a world where, like I said last week, we soft. We soft as baby shit.
It's off his baby.
Because of what has happened, because of how our society has evolved. And I'm not talking about the United States, I'm talking about the world. Because of how society has evolved, talking has actually moved up to one of the more important and effective.
Yeah, because you don't want
Yeah.
the other what y'all don't realize, the other thing, well, y'all do realize, once the talking stops, the shooting starts.
Yeah.
Especially if it's about things that people feel like this will infect my entire life, the lives of my children, and the lives of their children. Especially, and I need to make this clear, if you come from a people that have been historically marginalized, abused, and seen it happen over and over and over again, and seen excuses, and seen Lucy move the ball every time Charlie Brown goes to kick it over and over and over again, there are going to be members of that group that are part of the warrior class that's going to feel as though talking don't work.
Yep. The problem with that is eat the rich becomes a lot more difficult with automatic weapons, with laser sights, with tracking systems.
Facts.
So, unfortunately, as society has evolved, our ability to affect change has lessened.
Yes. Also, that would basically, all right, so that situation happened with Luigi, right?
Mm-hmm.
That may or may not be replicated, but the reality is the only way that this works for the people that are trying to make the change is the narrative that it's not safe.
Right.
Because if you are wealthy, you have all these resources and shit, but at the same time you can't go out in public.
Yeah. Yo, imagine, that's a great example, actually. Imagine how much more effective, let's say everything happened the way it happened, right?
Right.
Imagine how much more effective that would have been in 1996.
Bruh.
Where social media isn't a thing, the internet really just started.
Yeah.
So the information can get out there about what happened, but it's not too many ways that you could connect to other people to talk about. It's just, shit, this has happened. Somebody got taken care of.
We got video.
You know who it was.
We got
There's
video
evidence.
Yeah.
This was about such and such and such.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
How much more effective that would have been back then than it is now.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. But I'm gonna tell you, humans have never let the smart thing to do stop them from doing the dumb thing, right?
Absolutely.
So if you look at the January 6th shit in 2020, let's talk brass taxes.
Yeah.
Had the government wanted to,
bruh,
there'd have been a massacre out there.
Wooden pikes.
Yeah. It would have looked
Talk
like
about a lynching,
nigga. That shit would have looked like Vlad the Impaler after a battle. You'd have had motherfuckers impaled out that bitch,
bruh.
Like, had the government wanted to, right? They didn't. Here's another thing too. sometimes it's not just about the fact that the military has the power to do this and to do that and to do this. Imagery matters.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to think about this. Imagine there's a big upheaval at the things that is happening right now in DC. Motherfuckers get violent. They call the military out there. The military starts shooting American citizens on the streets of America. This video gets out globally. I am telling you, that's going to cause problems.
Yes.
It's going to cause big problems for those in charge over here.
Yep.
Because much of their narrative about the way the world works that they have other people buying into too many times is that we're the good guys. Yep. We don't do shit like that. And we're going to wag our finger at you, China, or you, Russia, or you, Korea.
Mm-hmm.
But you're doing...
Look what they're doing to their own people.
Right. And literally, they weaponize those incidents in those other countries against us by saying things like, you're in the greatest country in the world. What's up, Cosmo? You're in the greatest country in the world. Look what they did over there in China. Look what, by the way, these days when they say that, I go, what? Gave free healthcare? What else did they do? But at any rate, they weaponize that for the narrative to keep us complacent and have us believing having this false sense of arrogance about how other people are living across the world. When all it takes is for you to get a passport. Get a passport. Go over there and see how motherfuckers is living.
Right.
And then you look back at your shit and go, huh. So yeah, I got Uber Eats and shit. That's cool. But if I have a catastrophic disease, that's it for my wallet, my pocket. My family is broke after this. You know, I get to send my kids to these schools, but the school system isn't all that great because it's attached to property taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And what's worse, some disgruntled kid could come in there with an AK-47 and mow down the entire classroom. That don't be happening over there like that.
No.
The reason you don't see that as something to factor in this arrogance about where you live at now is because of that narrative, that jingoistic narrative they've given you that got you throwing your pom-poms up.
Yep.
Yay! America! Fuck yeah! America. Right? They got you doing that, and you get defensive when somebody brings up the shit that's negatively affecting you. You get offended, you get defensive, like, well, I don't like, well, if you don't like America, leave. That's not an insult. Not to me. Ain't an insult to me. Like, but again, that is what keeps y'all from doing the things that might be necessary to check the people in power. And that's why this shit went on too long. And that's how we got to where we are right now. Because people got complacent and they believed the narrative. Well, it was a shining city on the hill. Well, it was and that kept your ass sitting down while motherfuckers took advantage of you and stole your fucking money. Notice the whole time they ain't even go towards the Department of Defense.
Right.
You know how much money out of the national budget they take? And the fact that I think it was $4 trillion unaccounted for? And nobody went to jail and nobody lost their jobs. But they trying to come at you about your Medicare. They trying to come at you about your Social Security. They trying to come at you about all these different safety nets that help because the system, being the way it is, has these giant holes in it. Giant holes that people fall through all the time. So they gave you some safety nets. Now, I'm the first one to tell you a lot of them safety nets are half measures. They're half measures at best. But they were still there. Right? So, again, that jingoistic narrative that you have bought into is what allowed them to do the shit that they're doing. Y'all don't take shit serious here. Y'all don't. It's all hee hee ha ha. Yeah, I know they robbing us, but we got games at the Coliseum. All right. All right. Okay. We'll see where that gets you. What happens when you can't afford to go see the games at the Coliseum anymore? Like, all right, okay. I wrote a blog that I have no place to put it currently, but I have a whole blog about some of that shit. Just the mentality, because sometimes I just be like creating shit to get it out here, right? Like that's one of the good things about this show too. Us having a show every week, but SPJ will tell you, we be back and forth. Yo, look at this. Yo, look at that. Yo, look at this. Yo, look at that. Yo, did you see that? Marissa will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
This, look at that. You see that? See that? Like there's a y'all gonna have to come to certain realizations about the place you live, and it might be too late already. It might be too late already. Just saying, it just may be too late already.
I don't know if "might" is the correct word.
And if it is too late, you gotta ask yourself what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You gotta really ask yourself what you're gonna do. And I think that's a scary question for a lot of people because they had their eggs rested in a certain type of basket. Same with the Social Security shit, right? So, because Social Security been around for a while, people believed that it will always be. It won't. And there were certain problems with Social Security from the start. To be honest, it kind of resembled, certain parts of it resembled a Ponzi scheme. Certain parts of it, right? Not all of it, and there are differences, but we can't ignore the stuff that's damn near on the money with what Ponzi schemes are, you know. But there were ways to fix it. Unfortunately, there's not the will to fix it. So, Cosmo said one of the most oblivious lines that gets passed around for propaganda is, "Oh, that can't happen here, right?"
Yep.
There it is. It can happen anywhere, motherfucker. This is humanity. If you study history of any time period or multiple time periods, you see examples all throughout the timeline. And there are some places that were much older than this place. And it seemed like the sun would never set on them.
The sun never sets on the Roman Empire.
Yeah, that shit. This place is not as old. Yo, China is thousands of years old.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times people over here in this country get a little above their skis. China is thousands of years old. England is old as fuck. Old as fuck. France is old as fuck. Egypt is older than all of them. Older than all of them. Iraq is old as fuck. It's Babylon at one point. Old. It can happen here. Anything you saw happen in them other places can happen here. Anything. It might not be the same thing that sets it off, but at the core of all of it is still the same thing. People.
I mean, that's
it. There are people here. So it all can happen here. It all can. Part of the other reason why I believe too, people latch on to these trying to find feel-good victories, like with this Target shit, is cope.
Mm-hmm.
It's cope.
Because why would you assume?
Yeah.
That's how anything works.
Yeah.
Why? If it was that easy, do you understand how much shit would change?
Yeah.
If it was really that easy.
And that should have been your first clue it was wrong.
Right.
That should have been your first clue.
Way. Like, what are we talking about?
That's too simple.
Yeah.
No.
There's no way. There's no way. Do you understand how many times? So there's a difference between a protest and a boycott, right?
Facts.
They sometimes go hand in hand.
They sometimes overlap. Yes.
Yeah, but there's a difference between the protest and the boycott.
Mm-hmm.
like the Montgomery bus boycott was both, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That shit that happened with Pride, I don't know if it was actually a boycott. I know it was a protest.
Right, right.
And the part of that lawsuit was somebody saying they fear for their safety or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That don't come from boycotts. That comes from protesting. And not always. Right? Because protesting is an antiquated, well, we're not gonna get into that. But
yeah, I just thought about something too. The fact that you mentioned that and then slid off of it like that. What happens when the bulk of the people realize what we realize about protests?
Bruh.
What happens?
That's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So words mean things. And
what they mean?
I know that's crazy, right? I know it's crazy to say that in order to communicate with somebody effectively, you have to agree on the contract, right? You have to be using the same terms.
My wife used to always say, a conversation is like a contract. Before anybody can understand each other, y'all got to agree to the same terms.
That's it.
This word means this. That word means that. Should we agree to that? Yeah, sure. Then we can communicate.
I know this means several things, but in this context,
right,
this is what we're talking about.
Right.
People suing Target for misrepresenting the dangers of DEI. That means several things without context.
Yes.
So while I understand how you landed upon, Target's getting sued for getting rid of their DEI, I understand how you landed upon that.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw it, I was like, that would be amazing. Let me look into this.
Same thing I did.
And the person
I saw the meme first. I said, let me check this.
I saw it on Twitter. I saw the little meme about it, and I was like, all right, did Philip, what's that nigga name?
Philip DeFranco?
No, the Black Philip on Twitter. I can't remember his last name. But did he report this? No? Oh, all right. Let me see where this is coming from then. Because I was already on Twitter. So I was like, let me check his page, see what he said. Oh, he didn't say shit about this. Oh. All right, well, maybe it's just too new. He didn't get to it yet. Let me check the interwebs. And what I found was like, oh, this doesn't quite say that. No. But I didn't read the whole thing at the time. So I'm like, all right, let's let this play out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up on TikTok, started seeing people, a person that I follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see how this shit works, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And they're being sued for
find out.
And right. I'm like, hold on, my guy. Wait a minute. I went back to that link and read the rest of the link. And I'm like, no, I'm going to shut up.
What the other problem is? We live in a content economy. Yeah, and y'all motherfuckers are rushing to get shit out to talk about, to have a topic. Mm-hmm. And that's the other problem. There are several issues we have today that we would not have if not for the content economy, bro.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all niggas looking for clout. Y'all looking for engagement. Y'all trying to be the first ones out. The other thing is,
all of it isn't malicious. Some of it is.
No.
All right, I want to get the word out to my people.
Yeah.
As fast as possible.
But the other thing is,
are you qualified to do that?
Yo, you took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say, what's happening now is motherfuckers have leapfrogged over learning journalism to get into a position where they can have potentially millions of people watching them talk and speak on these topics. It would be the equivalent of a motherfucker leapfrogging over medical school and all of a sudden walking into the ER and doing some brain surgery or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It's devastating. Just one is more direct than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, all right. Damn, let me read the rest of this article. Read the rest of the article. I'm like, man, I don't got the time nor the reach to actually combat this shit. The three things that led to this being the topic for today is Chrissy happened upon that same video. and she sent it to me.
Mhm.
And I'm like, all right, so this is what's wrong about this. This is what I've been seeing online, blah, 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 blah. And she had a question. And because she had a question, I had to go back and read that article to get a deeper understanding of what exactly was going on. And what I found was, because all of the videos weren't saying the same exact thing.
Right.
There were some videos saying that it was a direct cause of what happened recently. Some people were saying that it wasn't necessarily a direct cause of what happened recently, but it's a good thing. So it was several things that were being said. And Chrissy said, like, hey, but one of the videos was basically saying that it wasn't directly this, but it's a good thing. I'm like, no, this is not a win.
No.
Because they are not suing because
they got rid of it.
Was rescinded.
Right.
They're suing because they implemented it in the first
place. Yeah. And by the way, that's also part of the problem too. And we've seen this happen, is that a lot of those tactics that were used successfully by the civil rights era activists, well, then they become part of the playbook.
Yeah.
And they're not, and the people that are in good faith aren't the only ones that have access to this playbook. You saw many times the Klan use case law that was developed for the civil rights era activists to spread their bullshit and protect them from the bullshit.
Yep.
So this is one of the many reasons why we have said that protest is mostly ineffectual.
Yeah.
Because motherfucker, one, they've already seen all the shit you can do. They factor that into the decisions they're making, so they got contingencies for it. And two, your enemies can use the same playbook.
Absolutely.
And to be clear, if your enemies are part of the dominant demographic that gets the most empathetic responses from the rest of the dominant demographic, they're probably going to be more effective at it than you. Because if the society you live in looks at you with scorn, looks at people like you with scorn, or skepticism, or man, the motherfuckers always up to something. Man, the motherfuckers. If society at large sees your group as that, those tactics don't work as much anymore.
Absolutely.
They don't.
You know, you don't wonder why those protests in 2020 started having arson involved with them? It was by and large not because of us.
Nope.
Not to say that we weren't involved at all.
Right.
But by and large, it was not us. We weren't doing that because they wouldn't have benefited us.
Agitators jump up in there and do this shit. They're basically looking for anything. Like anarchists, they'll jump into any protest and be like, what are we beefing about? Oh, we are? Thanks. Yeah, good. Let's see that CVS over there? Light the fire, baby. Right. Light the fire. Time to kick the tires and light the fires.
And I'm glad you used the word anarchist, because on top of the fact that the enemy, the people that you're protesting against, joining in, there will just be some people that just want to see the world burn.
Yeah.
So they going to jump in too and do some disruptive shit.
And I am right.
I understand, but we're not doing this. Yeah, we're not doing this. But
right on that line.
so that was one reason. And then, like I said, I kept coming across video after video after video of this about this shit. And then Toom sent me a message. I was like, "Yeah, no, we talk about this tomorrow." Yeah, we already. Yeah, we don't.
It's absurd.
It's absolutely absurd.
It's absurd, man.
It makes my blood boil when I see us being so gullible.
And
that's what the worst part about it is for me.
Yeah. And it's too late in the game for us to be that gullible.
Bruh, like how old are you? How old are you? Why don't you have this frame of reference to understand that you have to understand the terms and the players that are involved in this particular thing?
Especially before you share. Before you share this to the world. Like, all right, even if all of us can get got by something, right?
Right.
But if your prevailing principle is, oh, that's crazy. Let me check. Use that as your guiding light. oh shit, that's crazy. Even if they got you initially,
Yeah.
before you share it, let me check to make sure.
And you know what's crazy? It's one thing when the bullshit is like these nebulous things that can be hidden and all this other shit. You know where? You know what generally can't be hidden?
What's that?
Lawsuits. Official
Public
company
knowledge,
statements.
baby.
Official company statements.
Yeah, it's public
Those
knowledge,
things
man.
can't be hidden because that
Right.
would kind of defeat the purpose.
Right.
And
And if they actually did an apology, they would want as many people as possible
everybody to see it.
know that they did the apology.
If you think that a major corporation issued an apology, what can you do? Go to their social medias.
Go to their
Go
website.
to their corporate website.
Yep.
If you see no trace of it in either of those places, chances are
Somebody
it
lied.
does not exist.
Right. Somebody lied.
What did I literally typed in, because again we referenced research, and I said do some rather than do your.
Right.
What did I do to find out about this goddamn lawsuit? I opened Google, typed the 2 words target lawsuit. I see a bunch of links. I chose to go with Reuters.
Yeah.
AP would have been an acceptable one.
Yes.
Like there are several, if you would have found the official actual documents. The issue with that is sometimes a little hard to understand. So I get that one.
No, I ain't giving them that either. Because we
there's ways to translate it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You can put that in the chat bot and it will say, put this in 3rd grade reading level so I can understand this shit.
It's like, bro, what are we talking about? And it's the thing that y'all do when y'all see a headline and you already have something in your mind about how you feel about something. So you take that headline and it gets transformed in your brain because of your particular biases.
And the thing is, very few people want to admit that. This is the issue, right? So all of us have a worldview. None of us are a complete blank slate with no ideas, no interpretations of what they perceive, right? But people don't want to admit that when they read news, articles, information, that it is filtered through that bias or that worldview. And that will color the way you interpret what you're reading. Now, the other thing is, if it's a particularly emotional topic for you, you have to be extra careful because, one, like in this situation, I think a lot of y'all are looking for hope, looking for some hope because you believe, you've been taught to believe that the bad guy's not supposed to win.
Right.
And that at the end, the good guys are going to prevail and blah, blah, blah. And you see yourself as one of the good people or your cause as the good people. So we going to win. That's not actually how the world works. Often the bad guys win because the good guys are too restrained or hamstringed by their quote unquote principles to act or to be able to pivot when they see that the fight isn't going their way. This fight isn't going your way, and it's not going your way because they're not playing by the same rules that's handcuffing you.
Correct.
And then you flail yourself over the idea of, hey, look, we can learn something. I know they ass, but we can learn something from these motherfuckers, or we have to adjust our strategy to match their barbarity. And it might be ugly. And I know y'all, but too many of y'all remind me of Batman's bullshit. I can't kill the Joker because if I kill the Joker, then it's still on my murder. So?
Right.
He didn't kill thousands of people at this point. And you sitting there flogging yourself for, I can't kill the Joker because of nigga, pivot. The Punisher would have took his ass out. The very first gas, bomb, whatever, the Punisher would have rolled down there with that and put one between his eyes.
Thanks.
Penguin 2. You put Punisher in Gotham for 2 months. And all but the most slightly above street level villains
Yeah,
are
gone.
they're gonna get fucked
It's
up.
over.
It's over. It's over. But Batman can't pivot.
That underbelly gone.
That all those Two-Face, all these niggas. If you ain't bulletproof, that's your ass. That's your ass.
Facts. So let me read a couple of these headlines because I want to be clear with my empathy about this. Right?
We know you're scared. We know that you're frustrated.
Yeah.
You're angry, and you feel disrespected, and you looking for we right there with you. We understand. We get it.
Target is being sued by shareholders for allegedly withholding the risks associated with DEI efforts. Now, if you are someone in that camp and you read this headline, this could read to you as there are people who aren't necessarily a fan of my side of things. However, they are suing Target because they feel like Target rolling back this DEI initiative caused issues. I can absolutely understand how you can
interpret that way. Right.
Another one. Target hit with class action lawsuit claiming they misled investors over DEI policies. Again, if you are in that camp, I can see you reading that as the investors invested because you did the DEI.
Right.
And since you are now rolling them back, they feel like you lied to them about what your mission was.
Yeah, I can see how you would interpret it that way. Yeah.
I can get that. I can understand that. Let me see. What's the next one? Target slammed with lawsuits as investors demand refunds. I don't even got to explain how you could. I understand how you can lead your way down to what is a favorable conclusion for what you wanted. Target hit with shareholder lawsuit claiming investors were defrauded about DEI risks. Again, I already explained that was like the same as the one before the last.
Facts.
Target hit with shareholder lawsuit over DEI policies. Again, because it had just been repealed,
right?
I can see why you can feel like, oh yeah, they're mad that they canceled DEI. I get it, but those are headlines.
Read the story.
Read the damn story, please. Please, just a little bit of it.
But you don't understand, SPJ. There's a certain time of day that I have to put a video up.
Sure. All right, bookmark that damn article, or open a new tab. Like, what the fuck, bro? It's
frustrating.
Again, I'm empathetic to your understanding that is clouded based on your biases, right? Yes. I'm empathetic to that. However, there is a fix.
What's the fix?
Just read the goddamn article. Just read it. Because the point of the articles that are written in good faith is to normalize and laymanize the information that exists. Yeah. That's what that is. That's all that is.
Just go read it.
$200?
I said he gonna get a notification and see that I spent $200 on Hobby Lobby.
Oh my God! What is happening? No, don't worry about it. Don't pay no attention.
No, hold on. No.
Oh,
what's this?
God damn it! Huh?
What's this?
$200.
Don't worry about it.
What's this? This nigga got Hobby Lobby shit. You know they ass too. Listen.
Listen, we got what to decorate, nigga. I got it.
Oh.
We got it.
Oh.
And that's a part of what I was saying to Discord earlier, right? It is impossible, unfortunately. And I will say it again. And ain't nobody gonna stop me. We soft.
Baby shit.
So there are certain conveniences that realistically you're not giving up. You're not giving up unless you're absolutely forced to.
Right.
And
This is why I've often argued for targeted activism.
Yep.
Like there are ways to get the same point across without attempting to do what is damn near impossible. Instead, you work within what's possible. Work within that.
Mhm.
But when the problem is y'all romanticize the 60s
Yeah.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You romanticize it, and you probably should.
Sure.
It should probably be high up on the list of things that you
The
look at and go,
problem
wow.
is when you romanticize that and you have delusions of grandeur.
Yes.
That's
And
the issue.
you don't factor in that you're living in a different time.
Right. The things that they were fighting for were literally directly life or death.
Yeah.
The things that you want to fight for now are less directly life or death.
Mm-hmm.
So there's already an inherent change in the game, just based on that fact alone.
Right.
It's just.
Plus,
I wish more people understood social science.
yes. Yo, I'm glad you said that. Because somebody said to me one day, they said, it was mentioning something, as they always do, about biology and blah, 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 this, that, and the third. But what they weren't factoring in is the social element to it. So they said, yeah, but I'm talking about the science. And I said to them, you do realize social science is a science.
It's a thing.
It's a science. So if this biological situation does not match what we're talking about, you need to examine to see if this is part of the social sciences, because everything is not biological.
Correct.
It's not. Some things are absolutely about how people interact with other people and their society at large.
Mm-hmm.
It's 100% about that.
Yep.
So miss me with but it's not a biological reality. Is it a social reality? Then it's still real.
And you're not talking about the same thing. You're talking about two different things. You're talking about what a colloquialism has done to the definition of a word.
Yes.
If we're talking about sex versus gender, they are two distinct things. But colloquialisms have led to us to conflate the two, which in of itself is harmless. The problem comes with connotation and extrapolation and all that other bullshit that sometimes I hate because
yes. The problem comes when goofies like Lord Jamar complain over the fact that the word theory has a different meaning in science than it does in the colloquialism. This is where the problem starts, because you want it one way. Y'all want it one way, but it's the other way. You know what I'm saying? It's the other way. Y'all want it one way.
Don't let that nigga find out that they don't use the word law anymore.
Right.
Don't let that nigga find that out.
Don't let that nigga find out what's the difference between live and live. He gonna be pissed. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be pissed. Yo, how the fuck have you spoken English all these years and not realize that words can take on different meaning or multiple meanings depending on the circumstance? How the fuck? And then you running around here trying to combat scientists and shit or professors. Get the fuck out of my face.
You know what I would honestly do? If I was ever in a situation where I had some type of debate with Jamar,
I would leave.
I wouldn't even try to debate him. I would treat him like a child.
Yes.
I would literally treat him like a child.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let him bring that theory shit up. I would write the letters R-E-A-D. What word is that? Tell me what word it is. Oh, you don't.
It's read.
Nope. It's red.
It red. And then he gonna say, because red is spelled R-E-D.
Like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
yo, it's embarrassing. It's funny because under one of the video responses that Professor Dave did, right? He basically was like, this. He expected, this is what Lil Jamal expected, that a bunch of black people was going to come running to his defense over their ignorance. And this is why I be telling motherfuckers all the time. Many black people are scientifically literate. All right?
Yeah. Right.
And we don't like to hear that goofy shit either. Like, what are you talking about? Some of us have kids, nieces, nephews, godchildren. We don't want to hear your ass get on TV or on the internet lying and saying shit that you don't have no fucking training in, talking about it like you're a fucking expert and leading motherfuckers to believe some shit that ain't true. We don't want that shit.
Not even that. The worst thing about it, right, is this would be like you're going all in on this great lie.
Yeah.
This would be the most ineffectual lie
Yes.
that you could ever have this big an issue with.
Right.
Like, let's
How
say
does that
you were
change
right.
anything?
How does
They
it
never
change
have an
anything?
answer for this part though, bro. Like I've seen it happen before. They never. So let's say that.
Why are you so upset?
Why would they lie about that? They never have a legitimate reason. Never. So they can control you. You know how many different ways?
How?
Nigga, you have a social security number. Stop it, B. Stop it. How does you thinking the world is round control you?
How is something that I personally will never have the opportunity to go up and physically witness with my eyes controlling me?
Mhm.
How is that the case?
You know what I think is stupid too? You know NASA has a live feed.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
You can literally go watch and see the curve.
Yes.
Come on, yo. What are we doing? What are we doing? What?
I don't know, yo. This shit pisses me off.
But
that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm not because it's gonna be too much to keep up with. But what I would like to start doing is every time I see somebody say some shit that they could have just read about and it would have fixed the issue, I'm gonna start asking them how they feel about Lord Jamar.
Ooh, that's a good litmus test. That's a good litmus test.
Like, are you familiar with Lord Jamar?
What are your thoughts about Lord Jamar? You know, the thing that's crazy too. So Professor Dave wouldn't know, but he didn't know that Lord Jamar was from a legendary rap group.
Because that is inconsequential.
But he didn't realize that, and some of the things that he said was that, like for instance, Lord Jamar tried to say some stupid shit about him calling himself Professor Dave. Professor Dave said, "Sure, right? Are you actually a lord?" Nigga, shut up. Nigga, shut up. Nigga, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Is K-Shine actually a professor? Professor Shine? Stop it, B. Like, it's so funny because I noticed when I saw his response video, I looked in the comments and most of Professor Dave's audience don't know about Jamar's whatever. Because some of the things they were saying was like, why does he think anybody would care what he has to say? Well, part of that is because there is a certain segment of the hip hop community that won't let him go. Like if it was me, right, and it has been, the reason why I don't pay no attention to Lord Jamar is because one, you're not a scientist, you're not a professor, you never studied none of that shit, and two, when you gonna drop some bars, nigga? like on the real, like your relevance to me is you dropping bars, not you sitting up here trying to convince the world that the world is flat. You ain't even dropping bars, nigga. You just sitting there saying shit for clout, trying to get engagement. That's how I see it, right? And of course, you're also ignorant as a motherfucker, right?
Right.
So to prove and to say before anybody says, yeah, but he's a Sadat X just dropped.
Right.
That was his partner in the, he just dropped something. And if you go look at Sadat X now, Sadat X is an old man now.
Oh yeah.
He's an old man now.
Right.
He just dropped some shit. So to me, Lord Jamar doing what he's doing now but not participating in hip hop in any way. You ain't dropping the verse. You ain't doing none of that shit. All you sitting here doing is being in the fucking way and being a nuisance. That's what the fuck you're doing. You're being a fucking nuisance. Nigga, if you was doing that and dropping some bars, I go, all right, he rapping, he's saying this little shit for attention so these people can pay attention. All right, cool. He's still participating in hip hop. Y'all can't give this man this amount of cred when he ain't dropped no bars or nothing in years.
Perfect example. The conversation we had one day, it never made it to the pod because no. But perfect example of what you just said. If he was still dropping some bars, there would be some bail for him.
Yes.
The conversation we had about Redman. When I hit you up and I said, oh shit, Redman dropped Muddy Waters too.
Thanks.
He's saying some wild shit on here, but it's Redman. He's barring up. He is rapping his ass off.
Right.
He's just saying some weird shit that I can't.
He's saying some wild shit, right? All right.
Perfect example of that. That very thing that you just said.
He's still dropping bars. And
he's still dropping bars.
The crazy shit that he might think or believe, he's putting it in rhyme form.
Yeah.
That somehow seems more appropriate to me.
It is.
Than your ass getting on these podcasts and speaking like you're an authority on some shit.
Also, I have the benefit of looking at society as what it was meant to be.
Right.
Society is modular.
Yes.
That is how a society succeeds.
Yes.
A society does not succeed without modularity because everybody can't know and be able to do everything.
Right.
It's not how it works. It's not how it's ever worked.
Right.
Therefore, what is your profession?
What do you do?
What do you do? Whether you do that well or not,
that's something else.
Is irrelevant in this conversation.
Right.
What is your trade? What do you actually do? If it's not the thing that you are trying to die on this hill about.
Yeah. And the thing is, he is actually a test case for why you shouldn't do it.
Sure.
Do you know how foolish this man has looked in the last few weeks?
Bro.
Now, I would argue he's looked super dumb before, but the issue has been all of that shit led up to this. We was always going to end up here. We was always going to end up here because he ain't dropping no music. He's running his mouth too much. Mm-hmm. He's thinking that he knows some shit that he doesn't know. And he's trying to get internet clout based off of some shit. And it's like, nigga, we know the ones of us that do know you for rap, we know you for rap. Right. So you can do all that other goofy shit if you want, but you should at least be dropping some bars. Here's an idea. Put it in your raps so we can have more to discuss than just your ignorance. We can say, all right, this shit is, what he said here is dumb, but that was an ill-ass line.
Right.
Do something. Right now, all he's trying to do is be known for something that he's never been known for. You're not good. Bro, you're not Joe Budden, B. I'm sorry. You're not. Joe
not close.
Joe can spit. First of all, you can't spit like Joe.
No.
Joe can spit, and Joe is also a very good broadcaster.
Yep.
Even when he say stupid shit.
Yeah, like the nigga or not. He know what he's doing.
Right.
I can't say that for Jamar.
No, this nigga, first of all,
he's not doing anything but rage baiting.
Joe is very articulate.
Mm-hmm.
And that articulation sometimes confuses people with intelligence or knowledge. Because he is very articulate, people think he's also very knowledgeable. Like SPJ just said previously, society is modular. There are things he is 100% informed about.
Absolutely.
But a lot of that other shit, nah, nigga. And you could tell by just listening to his podcast. But he is very entertaining and very articulate. And when he retired from doing music, a large percentage of his audience didn't believe him and thought he would come back and do this.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Yeah. They didn't believe him. But this is what we did know about Joey. Joey been online doing online shit before a lot of you niggas.
Mm-hmm.
He before a lot of these motherfuckers. He was partying before partying was a thing. He was doing that shit. So these are things he became also known for. And you typically get known for doing shit in a positive manner if you do it well. Lord Jamal's not known for talking in a positive manner. What
Right.
we know of him is he says the dumbest shit ever aggressively and ignorantly.
Mhm.
That's what we know. That's what we know
Only
about
skill
him.
he has in that arena is potentially having his volume be louder than the person he's talking to.
Yeah, he's a demagogue, yo. He's a fucking demagogue. Discourse said somebody ought to put Professor Dave through rap school so he can school Jamal. in his own
Absolutely
trap.
not.
No,
we're not doing
we don't
that.
need that. We don't
We're
need
not doing
that.
that. No, not
Sit
a
down,
thing.
Dave. We don't need that.
Yeah, no, we good.
No, do him. Look, you don't need it. You don't need to do that because you
No.
already fucked him up.
Absolutely.
And it's something you won the battle already.
Yeah,
you won the
you don't
battle.
need to
Like,
do shit
nah, I ain't need that to round.
Not at all.
I didn't need that to round.
Not at all.
What's up?
All right. Moving on to week in review.
Let me start.
Oh, my bad. Hold up. Dumbass of the week. Dumbass
Oh
of the
yeah,
week.
yeah.
I got a dumbass of the week and I got a FAFO of the week. So let me.
You might be doing the FAFO for a week more often.
Oh
'cause
no,
there's
that's
so
what.
many of them,
absolutely.
bro.
Oh no, I've
There's
started
so many.
collecting. I've started collecting. Believe me. Let me see. I need to find my screenshots. There we go. All right. So this happened before this week, but I forgot to do it.
Right.
So where we at? Okay. So when TikTok shut down for that 12-hour shift,
A 12-hour tour.
I made a post. Now this post was actually made. Gina, the co-host of Heard It Through the Grapevine,
Yeah.
this post was actually made to troll her.
Okay.
The post also had the benefit of being something that I agreed with wholeheartedly, though.
Mm-hmm.
This was the post. Why are grown adults mad about TikTok being banned? You know how they say strangers will support you better than your friends and family? Facebook equals friends and family. TikTok equals strangers.
Yes.
I know when God was handing out talents, gifts, jokes, and empathy, you didn't get anything, but ashy legs and crusty lips. But the rest of the world was actually nothing. Also, the U.S. government took something from you, like it's North Korea. So I posted that. Bar for bar. It's her post.
Yeah.
Bar for bar, I stole it.
Right.
So several people commented with measured and appropriate comments. They treated it as an earnest post, which made the troll so much better because, but again, through the act of posting it, though the act of posting it wasn't earnest, the sentiment was earnest.
You had the benefit of agreeing with what the fuck. Yeah.
Right. Then here comes this dumbass. Now, I'm sure that in all the time that I've known her, she's made it on Dumbass of the Week before. I'm pretty sure. I just don't remember what it was for. Why am I so sure, though? Because she's a conspiracy theorist. But she doesn't have a big following or anything, and most people who actually interact with her online call her out for her shit.
Right.
So, and she's a good time in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I still have contact with her.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say? You aren't a real person if you don't have people that you only associate with strictly because they benefit you in some way. It's realistically, that's... Yeah. You're not a real person if you don't have that.
That's
so,
true.
But this was her comment, which I promptly hid because I didn't want to have to intervene on her behalf. I wish social media. Oh, did I not get the whole thing? I didn't get the whole thing.
You broke it. I knew it.
Media, actually, I don't have to look. I don't have to. I could just go to the post because I had a screenshot of it, but I forgot. You broke it. Well, call it what you want. I forgot to. Expand and hit the little see more button.
You forgot to not break it.
I mean, again, I'm fine with that narrative.
Are you know?
Absolutely. SPJ, breaker of things.
Yeah, I hear that dumbass.
Hey.
Yo, that's crazy. That was Juggernaut's name when Odin's brother gave everybody hammers. How dare you?
Did I delete the post or something? Because I can't find it.
Did you delete it?
I mean, as I'm out in this weather, okay, we're back. Lights are on. Oh, here we go. The reason I did a screenshot was because I didn't want to have to unhide the shit again. But fuck it, I'll do it for a couple seconds. I wish all social media went away. Humanity needs a detox. Addiction is real. In this world full of addicts who don't realize they're addicts, the children and some adults were crashing out just from the thought of losing something they don't even own is a distraction. Yes, it's good for some stuff, but I wish people would get back to being people the way we were to be. People need to learn how to interact with one another. Everyone's hiding behind phones and computers. All it's doing is helping push the world agenda, but nobody seems to be. No. But nobody seems to see the rain that's coming. I'm glad I grew up in the era I did because I love being free. I love not worrying about other people's lives. I don't know. I love not feeling like the world is over if I don't have a phone in my hand 24/7. Adults crashing is sad because there's no leadership. The children and parents are addicted. Now,
oh my goodness, you're all over the place, and there's so many things wrong with what you said. But okay,
I'm gonna screenshot this so I can properly assess this without having this shit live on my goddamn comment section anymore. Because
it's ass.
First and foremost.
Foremost and first.
Okay. I do every now and then. Where the fuck did you post this? Where did you post this? And you weren't tagged, so
this is the problem.
It's not like you got a notification.
No, this is the problem, bro. This is one of the key issues I have with these anti-this.
I posted this on Facebook. Facebook is the progenitor of modern social media. So if you hate social media so much, why the fuck are you on mine?
Right.
Currently, talking this bullshit.
Right.
Like what? I don't get it. Second off, world agenda. You sounding really suspiciously close to being a little anti-Semitic.
First of all, that's very much how that came off. And secondly, that's why I asked, what's the world? The world don't have an agenda per se. Motherfuckers are doing all kinds of shit for their own interest all over the place. Where interests converge, you will find then people doing shit to satisfy still their own interests, but they know that if I do to help this motherfucker do this, they'll help me do that. World agenda is a wild ass take. That's a wild ass take.
Yeah. So,
and I hate the fact. I'm telling you something else. I hate the fact that people learned the word agenda. I hate it because y'all throw that shit everywhere.
I'm glad I grew up in the era I did. We are the same age. You are a millennial. What the fuck are you talking about?
She over there talking like she Gen X or Boomer and shit.
You are of the generation that ushered in this shit.
Yes, sir.
What are we? Zuck is a millennial. What are we talking about? Like, this is all right. Okay. All right, my bad. I'm not even going to address any more of this. But yeah, so
absurdity.
That's the dumbass of the week. Let me see. Fat fool of the week. If I can pick out one.
See, that's the problem right there, yo. You in that world agenda. Learned or parrot? Yes. It's a good question, sis. It's a good question.
Okay. I got one. Fat fool of the week. As a Middle Eastern and Muslim voter, October 31st, 2023.
Okay.
As a Middle Eastern and Muslim voter, I will not be voting for Biden/Harris in 2024. I cannot vote for a cabinet that willfully murders innocent civilians and is complicit. She didn't type complicit. She typed complicate. But complicit. I'm sorry. No, fuck it. I'm gonna read it how she wrote it. I cannot vote for a cabinet that willfully murders innocent civilians and is complicate in a genocide. Sorry, folks. Can't be me. This decision has been made. Now, she made a post on January 28th, 2025. Why the fuck are Democrats so silent? The nation is falling apart. Please, for the love of God, say or do something. You contributed to them not being in power, right? Because we're a little more educated in how civics works and how the government works. And again, the element that people always forget that I just mentioned a little while ago, how sociology, we're a little more familiar with that than what the average person displays. Pledging and campaigning to not vote for a side in this country is effectively a vote for the other side. More so when you happen to be on the progressive side of things, because the people in power rarely want things to change to the other side.
In this,
that's just how that works. So not only
for the love of God, somebody.
Not only did you indirectly put Republicans in power at the top of the government, you also indirectly put Republicans in power on a level right beneath that.
Yeah.
Because they got the whole thing. They got
the whole world in their hands.
They got the trifecta right now. You think that none of that had to do with you talking about?
Oh, it had plenty to
Kamala
do with
and Biden.
You
think none of that had to do? Okay.
Listen.
For the love of God, do something.
No, that shit, I was laughing my ass off.
What do you mean?
Listen.
What do you mean by that?
What you need to understand is, we've said this numerous times, you vote for your weakest adversary.
It's very simple.
It's really simple.
The obtuseness of this idea that, no, I'm aware that it's a two-party system, but we need to get rid of the two-party system. And the way that we do that is by not voting.
And also by waiting every 4 years to have this epiphany that we need to get rid of the two-party system.
Right.
Instead of working towards making an alternative through the course of those years before. But every time the presidential election comes up, motherfuckers talk that shit. But I don't like right now, it's February.
Mm-hmm.
That man has not been president for 2 months yet.
Shit,
have you heard anybody talk about putting together some shit for a third party?
Nope.
And you won't until the next presidential election.
Yep. Not even midterms.
Because I am not opposed to more parties. I'm not.
No.
But I'm opposed to
you not participating in something does not lead to it being abolished. What are you talking? How
it doesn't lead to it being abolished at all, big.
What logic are you using? You abstaining allows the process to go on without you. That's all it does.
Well, but guess what doesn't go on without you? Them collecting your tax money.
Right.
So let me see if I get this straight. They're taking tax money from you, but you don't want to engage in something that even remotely may have the chance of affecting a decision making in certain things. You're just not going to do that. But they're still taking your tax money.
Yeah.
You should feel incensed
to do the things that you claim to be against.
Yeah, but that part, because here's the thing. I hate the fact that our tax money is being used to kill guys and babies. Absolutely. That shit fucking sucks.
100%.
So you would think I would want to say something, do something, anything. And because I knew that the other side was not even going to give lip service to it, and you have literally no way to pressure them. They don't give a fuck. Which is why I suspect I don't see y'all outside of the RNC building protesting them for that bullshit Trump said about the United States should just take Gaza.
Right.
No,
November. I'll vote for Satan himself February. And I think this is the time we need to all come together.
Nah.
Huh?
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Keep it real with you. I'm chilling. I got my own struggles, fights.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So those of you who didn't want to participate or went the other way or whatever that are now having these issues, time for you to stop leading from behind. Lead from up front.
Thanks.
Demonstration, sir.
Yeah. Show me.
Demonstration. Show us.
Be about it.
You didn't like the plan we had. You thought
all
you had a better one. Yeah. And then we heard you talking crazy.
Okay.
Well, we heard it.
Your turn.
We heard it. Your turn. Because I'm going to tell you something, especially when it comes to black women, if you look at protest, activism, politics, go look and see who's doing the administrative type shit that makes all that stuff go. You're going to see a bunch of black women. Your turn.
It's actually relatively similar to when Delroy Lindo was on that news show, and he was like, say it.
When the dude said, how come we can't say the N-word, but you guys said? He was like,
Go ahead.
You say it. Here, I'll say it with you. Yo, that clip is savage, yo. That is savage, yo. That
you want to say it, so say it.
He did some uncle shit right there. That's black uncle shit right there, yo. Like he's like, say it. Here, I'll say it with you. The point he gave him, that shit fucked me up, yo. He's like, so say it. So say it. Go ahead, say it. You want to say it? I didn't tell one to say it. Here, I'll say it with
It's a whole thing.
It's hard to get me to be empathetic when you were informed thusly of what would happen. When the person literally said what they were going to do, right? And we said, hey, if that person does that, this is going to affect you like this. And you went, fuck that. All right. So now keep the same energy. Now it should still be fuck that, right? But I suspect you won't, because we're seeing all these videos pop up now of you not.
Well, you know what I got to do?
What you got?
Once I figure out how to do it. No, that's not it. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Because I haven't done this on. I haven't done it since we switched back to OBS.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. What is it? Window capture. Window capture is what it is. Because now I gotta do it. I wonder if this is gonna work.
I see racism against whites every day, every single day. Yet I'm a racist for pointing that out.
Adrian, what's your take? Take on what? What Chuck just said. Is racism just a one-way street?
I can see it.
I think that's his opinion.
Look at your firm, Adrian. You get the benefit of no bid contracts because you're an African-American firm. Now, as a white lawyer, what am I supposed to think of that?
I don't know.
I think Chuck is pointing out a double standard here, Adrian. I mean, take hip-hop. We've talked about this on the show before. You have African-American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay.
Another satisfying racial moment.
Yeah. So I know. I just had to bring it up. Just say it. Say it. I'll say it with you. Yeah. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. That is goated.
Satisfied racial. Yo,
that's goated.
Wilding, yo.
So let's do. Yeah. All right. Now we can review.
Yes. So Couple of things. One. This has been the first week where we start sending out the first wave of fulfillment tiers for the Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, my memory is trash. Garbino.
I can attest.
because attempting to set it up the same way we did it last time required me to remember how we did it the last time. Now, fortunately for me, though, I don't have just one brain. I have another brain. My wife. You know what I'm saying? So she actually helped me do that. Again, because she's the one that set up the first time. So because of that, we were able to send out the first wave.
Mm-hmm.
The first wave of these are the standard issue ones. These are the ones that they're not the metal covers. They don't come with the poster or whatever. This is just the standard issue ones. Getting to send those out now. And that's good. I wish we could have done it earlier. I wish we didn't have all those fucking delays. But it is what it is now. And we're waiting currently for the metal cover books to come in. Right. So we can do that part of it as well. And of course, some people got the they got the whole bundle from issue 0 to issue 2, right? So I already have those books, so that should be they're probably the next wave or whatever. We also had a meeting this week. And it's interesting, right? Because there are two meetings that we're supposed to have. We already did one. And the other one is supposed to be, I think, on the 21st. Let me let you know that too, because you got to be at that meeting.
What was the date?
The 21st. The 21st, Friday.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Sean P said, I am hearing. Hold up. No, Discord said, I'm getting a double transmit. Discord said, anyone else or just me? Sean P said, I'm hearing Tombstone twice as well.
Tim, you broke it.
I didn't do anything. So I don't know. Like, it's possible. I'm just saying it's possible.
Are we still doing that?
What? Look,
No,
Vinny,
I'm
what's
not.
happening with Tim's audio? Hold on, let me try something. All right, what about now? Better. All right.
Okay.
Bet. But this first meeting was there's decisions that need to be made before we have this meeting with the other writers, because this is a new phase for the company for real, which is not just the IP that we have written natively, but now this is other writers and their IP. And I wanted to do shit that was different than a lot of the mainstream comic book companies, because I feel that the mainstream comic book companies are predatory when it comes to creators with their work for hire shit. Like, I get the idea of work for hire, I do, and I understand why companies do it, but they act as if they can't make adjustments to that framework to make it more beneficial for the creators, as if that somehow would take too much for them, and it really wouldn't, right? So we had to come to some decisions about how we was going to do some of this shit.
Right.
And one of the ways, not without going into big detail, is if you look at the Image Comics model, that's more of a model for us, where the creators keep ownership of their IP. That's your shit. You're publishing on the book. I mean, on our company, we do the service of the promotion, using our platform, some of these other things, the marketing, all of that shit, and we get a flat fee for that. If your shit makes it to the movies or some shit like that, you're gonna get the lion's share of that,
Right.
for IP, right? That sort of shit. With people who are coming on to write on an established title that we already came up with. That case is different. That's more work for hire unless you create characters in that lore and they become reoccurring characters that get popular and everything. Then you can absolutely get percentage of anything big happen with that. Yeah, absolutely. And credit for the character, of course.
Thanks.
These are very simple things you can do to make things fair for the writers, and these companies haven't been doing it.
Right.
Well, some of them. Image did. Like some of these other motherfuckers, no. But the other thing is, comic books have never actually been profitable.
Right.
That's the other thing. They've never actually been profitable. And the reason you see what you see now, like even right now, DC and Marvel, they operate at loss.
Mm-hmm.
This is but the reason they can do that is because they have a parent company that's funding all that shit. Yeah. And they farm, of course, the creativity of the comic book section of it for merch, movies, TV series, you name it. So it winds up paying for itself in that regard, not in the regard of book sales. Because in truth, the cost for comic books is too low, and it's always been too low. You know how many people got to eat off of that one issue?
Mm-hmm.
$3 to $5 is not enough.
Right.
Which is why I love being in the indie space, because we are a smaller company. We don't sell the amount of volume they do. We don't also produce as much as they do. Our prices can be higher in that regard.
Yeah.
Right. But to be clear, these are things that a lot of people don't realize about the comic book industry, because especially if you're only just now starting to pay attention to it, you see the success of these movies making billions of dollars and they're everywhere. But they got parent companies, that's worth billions of dollars funneling money into that shit. That's why. If you're a small indie, you got to find other ways to do the shit. So one of the ways that I was thinking about it was, instead of it just being a comic book company, it should be an entertainment company that wraps itself around the comic book. So that would mean music. That would mean all these other vlogs, videos, animation, you name it, all of these things, but it revolves around the comic book lore. And that way you can find those things to monetize,
right?
Merch and all that other shit, if the books aren't doing that, right? So there's a lot to that. It was a very fruitful meeting. I can't wait to actually have a meeting because we got the schedule. We will not be doing fourth quarter Kickstarters. It's not happening.
Right.
It's not happening. That's all retail.
Yeah.
All retail. So if you are a person who's not on the schedule for Kickstarter this year, there's still things you can do. Start promoting your characters, start promoting your lore, and then make some merch. Some merch. Like that's what YouTube is here for. You can literally do all kinds of shit, right? But that was one of the big things for me this week was that part. I'm glad we finally got a lot of that done. We started to move the chains with that. This will hopefully be a fruitful year for that. We're going to do another Kickstarter in March to be announced which book it's going to be, right? But yeah, that to me is encouraging, because at the end of last year, I was like, we got a lot of shit to do this year in order to really move the chains with that. Having a roadmap now. What's up, Jigs?
What up?
Like, having a roadmap actually helps.
Yeah.
Getting it done is something else. But still, we'll cross that bridge.
Thanks.
When we get to it and shit. Other thing this week. So if you live in this area, you heard shit about it's supposed to be icy or snow and blah, blah, blah. You know, I never love hearing that shit.
Sure.
I always hate hearing it.
Okay.
It's like a threat. They threaten.
I mean,
what? What you said you're going to do? It's going to do what?
All right.
But I can't swing on this.
No.
This old man winner.
Yeah, it's not.
He got a mean left hook. You know what I'm saying? So we needed more salt. So, all right,
I would argue.
shut your face. Shut your face.
My bad. My bad.
Listen.
I apologize for my.
Listen, we needed more salt. And I said to myself, well, we should go get that. Because that does help immensely. Like the shoveling shit is ridiculous. But if you have salt right there, it keeps it from accumulating a lot after that. And all of them was warning me. Wife was warning me, you're not supposed to do the icy stuff there. I hear you. It did nothing. It rained, sure. It did that, but it did none of that shit. And on top of that, they ain't even give me my salt. I ain't even get the salt shit.
Damn.
So how much more serious was y'all about that?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? So the other day, at my wife's job, something was going on with the heating. It was cold up in that son of a bitch. They got clients. They can't have clients coming up in there. The motherfucker all fucking cold. They can't have that. So the situation that they're having with the person that owns the building, it's a thing. It is. It's a thing. Of a motherfucker not doing what the fuck they're supposed to do.
Right.
Which is the reason that shit wasn't working. Now the bad thing is it's an old building. So the wiring in there, so you can bring heaters in there, but there is a limit before, lights out.
Yeah.
So that wasn't necessarily a fix for the situation. So the motherfucker thought that they had the right, because it's a security place, is secure with an alarm system. The person thought that they had the right number. They did not.
Yikes.
They go in there. The alarm goes off. They don't even call anybody to let them know that that's what happened.
Bruh.
Still found out, but still. So we go down there, not really knowing what the fuck is going on in the sense of why is that happening?
Yeah.
We, of course, find out. And it's like, bruh. This is what I would tell y'all, just a bit of advice, just for business-wise. You need to be careful who you do business with.
Facts.
Because, like, people tend to change. They can be very friendly. But when you start seeing how they conduct business and it starts to affect you, because the guy is a longtime friend of the owner of the place, but he's not acting none too friendly, like, now that there's business involved. He's not. So I go down there anyway because it ain't late, but it's dark, and I ain't want her going down there to fuck with that by myself.
Right.
But also, I ain't gonna hold you. A part of me was, I'm going down here too because if this nigga is down here, watch how you motherfuckers tend to watch their tone when I'm standing there, right? If it's two women there, even though the owner wasn't there, but if it's two women there, one woman there, niggas tend to get a little musty, a little bit musty. But if I'm standing there, it's like, because there's always a look on my face in these situations. It's like say something slick.
Say it. Go ahead.
Say it. Go ahead. Say it.
I know you want to say it. I'll say it.
I'll say it with you. Like, I always got that look. That in those situations, I always got that. I'm waiting to hear it. I'm waiting to hear that the disrespect that you was going to attempt to do if I wasn't here. Stand 10 toes on that, so we can get this shit shaking in here. So we can get this shit shaking in here. Stand 10 toes. Say it. Because I hate when motherfuckers do that, man, because you don't have to do it. You don't have to be that type of asshole. You really don't.
Facts.
You really don't.
What up, GA?
What up, GA? You don't have to be that type of asshole. Like, even in situations that are stressful, even in situations where it's not optimal, what's going on, you don't got to be that guy. But it's a lot of y'all that will do that to women. Y'all will do that to women. You will. All of a sudden, you musty and you want some red pill shit and you feel like you can talk all greasy. I'm sure this little woman where to get off. Yeah, well, I'm standing there now. Looking down on you. Right? Say it. Say it. Say it. And see if I don't give you fold away teeth immediately. Say it. But we got the thing fixed. Alarm went off. I mean, well, got the alarm turned off.
Right.
It wasn't like the police showed up around there because I've worked at places that had their alarm systems directly to the police because these were inherently dangerous sites where if the wrong person gets up there, like when I worked at the gun place, nigga, anybody gets up in there and comes out with that shit, they gonna have an arsenal, right?
Right.
So the alarm system there is connected to the police, and as soon as it goes off, they coming. And ain't none of that. Let me call to make sure that you know that nope, they're coming. But I'm the owner, and all right, we coming.
Right.
They bringing dogs. They bringing all that shit. They don't play that shit, and because it's happened to me before. I went to the job. I banged on the garage door to get the attention of the people in the machine shop, and the alarm went off. Here come the police.
Yes.
Here's the kicker. I'm the only black guy that works there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the only black guy that works there. It's a good thing none of them was like, we don't know who he is.
Explain yourself, nigger.
Yo, this back in the day too. I got on a fucking Black Raiders jacket and shit. Hat with the lopes. The motherfuckers when they came in there. Get him! But I work out.
Yo.
I'm just saying, like none of that took place. That was cool. It's just the idea of having to go down there at night, later at night. Later, it's around 9. It's just the idea of having to do that when we shouldn't have had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Handle your business with the heating in here, my guy. Like, pay the bill.
Right.
The fuck? And then follow up if you didn't.
Right.
Right. And be open to the complaints of the people that's giving you money. What are you talking about? And you causing money not to be made because you can't have the clients up in there when it's super cold like that. So the days that they can't come in there, that's money loss.
Yep.
You motherfucker. But that was pretty much my week right there.
Word. All right. Who knows what's going on? I couldn't tell you.
You're the only one that can tell us. What are you talking about?
You're right. You're right.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about, GA?
So wait, is it still working? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you still got heat in there. Yeah.
Shut up. I'm bugging.
Where's that damn cat?
You don't come in here, nigga. All right, so let me see what I got. Small talk. Yeah, small talk.
You love it. That's your favorite shit to do. Favorite activity.
So I have an amendment
on
what I had on why I hate small talk the way that I do.
Well,
I've talked about this. I know I've talked about this a lot on here. But as a philosopher, no explanation is ever complete.
As a philosopher, you think very deeply.
I mean, no, I ain't gonna go that far. But yeah, no explanation is ever complete. I'm always looking for more of a reason. So obviously I'm neurodivergent. So yeah, duh. I deem it a burden.
You don't say.
I deem it inefficient.
I deem it a burden too.
I deem it annoying.
Annoying. Oh, especially the annoying part. Your neurodivergence is annoying. Like it is. Like
it's sometimes a coping mechanism that people use as to a problem that they have, but
True.
don't make your problem my problem.
My problem. Yeah.
Don't make your problem my problem. That's not what we're doing around here. Here's the new thing that I think I mentioned within the past couple of weeks, but now I'm ready to officially call it. It sometimes shows me how little you actually care.
Ooh.
All of those other reasons just get amplified when it becomes clear that you don't actually care.
X.
Why am I still getting people talking about my haircut in February?
Yo, speaking of that, like when did you decide to cut your anyway, go ahead.
Mind you, that's funny because mind you, this isn't the joke of you don't know black hair. I hate that you don't know black.
Right.
No, this isn't the joke. That's a bit that I play up for the show, but it's actually extremely understandable why people aren't educated about locks because
most people don't have locks.
I don't have to explain why.
Right.
That part, just a bit of entertainment. Y'all enjoy when we get animated. Yeah. This is different though. This is different. We finished combing out my locks around the 1st of December. This week, 2 people who I've sat down and had conversations with, yes, plural, this year mentioned my haircut to me.
Okay, so let me
don't
try.
care.
Let me try to throw them just some bail. Just feel free to deny bail, Your Honor. But they don't think of you as a physical, but they see the person that you are inside. So they don't really see your physical. They don't care about that as much as they care about who you are. So they don't be no.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Content of character type shit. Okay. You clearly don't care. I'm not even down here to talk to y'all. You're holding me up.
Right.
And what am I supposed to say? I could get smart with one of them to no consequence, but the other one has
no consequence.
But the other one has a relatively high position. I could potentially reverse Karen my way out of that.
You could.
But who wants to go through all of that? This is neither of your first, second, or third times seeing my hair since December.
Yeah, but they didn't notice it first. They don't see color.
And that's the thing. Like, you don't actually care. Leave me the fuck alone.
Well, GA raises a good point. He said, I was just watching a podcast with Trevor Noah that was talking about the importance of small talk. It was enlightening. I'm not a fan of small talk myself, but it seems to be a social lubricant.
I have no desire to lubricate.
It's oil.
Yeah, I have no desire to lubricate social.
It's baby oil.
Right. And funny enough, I've seen that video about this a year or so ago. And
Russell said, not reverse Karen.
The person who made that video made a follow-up video about how that is how it is for neurotypical people. But for neurodivergent people, it's a little different. Yeah. So, no, absolutely. I understand that. See,
it's baby oil. It's 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't need or want that at all. I don't give a fuck how you feel about socializing with me. Don't.
You gotta so you saying you only got one half bottle of baby oil that you had for like 5 years and shit.
I'm baby oilless. I have no regard. I have no regard or concern for you to feel more comfortable socializing with me. I do not want you to socialize with me. Leave me the fuck alone. Like, I understand. I'm well aware.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
Right. Like, I understand that some people are nervous with silence, so they gotta say. I understand all of that. I do not care. I have no sympathy for you, and this is going to be a shocker if you actually listen to me speak. I have no empathy for you in this situation because I don't care. I do not want you to talk to me. Leave me the fuck alone.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them in the sky. I do not like them in pie. I do not.
I'm just saying.
No,
This
what
is-
you're saying, you are a curmudgeon.
Yes.
And I can relate.
Yes. Nigga. Like, no, you don't like you don't understand. No, I understand perfectly. I know exactly why you feel the need to do this. It's not wanted.
It's not knowledge or a lack of understanding.
No, I'm apathetic to your desire.
It's,
Like again, and it's not even that I hate. No, I'm apathetic to your need to feel comfortable in this social situation. I do not care.
yeah.
It does not benefit me for you to feel comfortable in this social situation. Again, I came downstairs to talk to one of my fellow coworkers about something that is one of her job responsibilities that I need from her. You getting in my way is nothing but holding me up. There's no reason for us to be having this conversation. And the fact that it's about something that you've noticed 3 or 4 times by now, it's really pointless. Facts, GA. GA says me either. We can jump right into some deep water shit. It's not awkward to me, but most people seem to need that. Beautiful morning, Gary. Me, yeah, the sun is up. Exactly. Exactly. I come inside with it's pouring down rain outside. I don't have an umbrella. I just got my hoodie on. I come inside. Oh, it's still raining? What the fuck do you mean? Why are you asking me this obvious dumbass question? So, moving on. Wedding watch. There's nothing major happened this week. We finalized the guest list. We finalized the invitations. Chrissy started getting people's addresses for the bridal shower. Basic, important shit. Mm-hmm. I actually have a song scheduled to come out in 2 days that I forgot was scheduled.
Do you? Interesting.
I completely forgot. That shit was. I didn't do shit. I have not promoted this song in any way, shape, or form. I have not
You
created
bugging, my guy.
promotional material for this song.
You are bugging.
I have done nothing. I forgot. I completely forgot because in my head I was like, all right, I've been saying this for a while, but I now had the opportunity to act upon it. I was like, yo, I got all these new fans that I got over the last years, and I see them. I get these notifications all the time about how many listeners and blah blah this and blah blah that, and I'm not feeding them anything.
Yeah,
so
I know how you feel, bro. How you feel. Well, for me, not so much on the music part because y'all get it when I get it.
Sure.
But I literally just kind of had a mini blow up on Red Note,
right,
and I ain't give them niggas nothing else.
And that's how it be. So I'm like, shit. I have this. It's finished. There's no reason for it to not be out. So I uploaded it, did all that shit, scheduled it, forgot that I scheduled it.
Wow.
Until last night.
The GA say you got me working on some shit too.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, goddamn it. What the world needs now.
What the world needs now, my guy,
is
I already did that song.
Yes, I know. That's why I used that. Yes. What the world needs now is a little bit more GA in their life.
I would tend to agree.
I mean,
listen, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. We might as well get a soundtrack.
Facts. Oh, speaking of which,
GA,
I'm gonna send you some shit. I'm gonna send you some shit. Just to send you some shit. Engage with it at your own leisure. So yeah, that's that. Work. This isn't from this week. I don't remember how far back this has been, but we've been running out of time, so I never got to it.
Right.
I'll just give you all the conversation. This is just a reminder of the stuff that I have to deal with in IT. So, what's going on with your computer? She says, I turned it on. It came up. I tried to open this one app. Now, I know that it takes a while sometimes for this one app to open. So I went ahead and opened a different app and did some work in there. When I finished that, the first app still hadn't opened. So I clicked on it again. I waited some more, and then I got tired and decided to shut the computer down. But instead of shutting the computer down, I restarted it. When I went to restart it, it said, getting your computer ready for updates for about 10 minutes. Now, for context, the program she was trying to open is some network program that every now and then takes a little while to open up. Absolutely. And if you open up more than one instance of it before the first one gets to initialize, you will never see it open. Not even takes long, it will never pop up. It will always be in the background.
Don't you even know though? Like, all right, let's say that specific one, but in general, if you open something up, depending on how your computer's set up and your specs and shit, nigga, and then try to open up another resource-heavy program or some shit.
These aren't workhorse PCs. These are average, everyday
consumer model,
regular shit. No, this isn't and this is not a new problem. This is how this program works. Partially because of what it is, but also partially because of how old the program is. There's no replacement currently for this program, so we're stuck using this.
It's time for you to create another one.
It's nothing I can do about it, but I absolutely refuse to. No, I'm not delving into that. But so, literally, like Tim alluded to, if you try to open something more than once, sometimes it just makes it take longer. Yeah. No, this program will never open. You will never see the user.
You will be an old elderly senior
nigga. It will be. When I say never, I am not exaggerating. I am not using it as a euphemism. The direct definition of never, as in will not happen. You will not ever see it pop up. It will just exist in the background. You have to
the roaches will take over the earth.
No, roaches will die before the roaches will die and the Twinkies will expire before this fucking program.
Are you saying that the universe will experience heat death?
Heat death, nigga. Before this. You literally have to go at that point into the task manager
and close that close
it. Yeah. You literally. Yeah. So again, this isn't new. She's been told this before. Okay.
She's been informed thusly?
Informed the most. Also, for your information, the only discernible difference on most modern PCs between shutting them down and restarting them outside of the obvious is that shutting them down does not actually turn the PC off. While restarting.
We had a conversation about that before.
Yes. Restarting turns the computer completely off. Generally, on modern computers, shutdown does not, unless you have changed that setting. Right. So I say to her, okay.
I say her?
You have to. I said, okay, you have to let it do that. You have to let it do what it's saying that it's doing. She says, for how long? I say, until it's finished.
Whatever it takes.
She says, damn it. I said, yeah, just let it do its thing. She said, well, I got to confess something. After waiting for about 10 minutes, I turned the computer off.
Ass!
When I turned it back on, it went back to the same screen.
Yeah, because
it wasn't finished doing what the fuck it was doing. This is my life, by the way. This is my life. This is why I don't like fixing computer issues for people. This is why pretty much anyone who has ever offered to pay me to help them, I decline. I've made approximately $0 freelance dollars from fixing computers because this is so frustrating that I want to do everything in my power to avoid it.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she didn't tell me everything that was on the screen. I'm 98% sure that screen that she told me about also says, do not shut down your computer. I'm 90% certain.
To quote Gamora and my daughter who says this all the time, now, you don't know that.
I'm the only one who knows that. So
GA said the sick part is it won't turn on, but if you open up that task manager, all of a sudden it wants to act right.
That happens too.
Because sometimes, look, it's like when you were a kid.
Yeah, you need that little that warning.
How many times your mom said, yo, sit your ass down and shut up while I'm doing this, and you don't, and then she grabbed the belt. Your ass starts sitting there, all of a sudden, or
if she just look at you.
Yo, yeah, my mom.
Look at you, my guy.
My mom has, for you, anybody would tell you, one of the sweetest people you. But when I was a kid, there was a look she had.
Nigga.
Oh no, I'm done.
Yo, Jonathan said I used to have a shirt that said I will not fix your computer. Facts. Leave me alone. I do not like this life. Anyway, so like I said, I'm fairly certain.
That's funny.
Because I just happen to not remember what that screen is supposed to say. I'm 90% sure it tells you not to turn the fucking computer off.
Pretty sure.
Right? So not only did you not take the not so subtle hint of, hey, something important is happening to your computer, but you also intentionally disregarded the explicit instructions
That's facts.
of not turning the computer off.
That's facts.
At that point, even if I could help you, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to. One of the vice presidents, this is something different. One of the vice presidents announced their retirement.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, actually, yeah, sure. It's really going to be interesting seeing what the company does to replace them, because they do a lot. I think they've been in the company 50 plus years. They expressed that that they want to leave quietly with no fanfare, no celebrations, and even if somebody tries to celebrate, specifically they said they will not be attending. I love that for them. I love that for them.
I do too.
And that's the kind of energy that I would probably be on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. 50 years. I don't need y'all to tell me shit.
Right.
50 years.
I've seen what you cheer for. So that's what I would like to be doing. I've always had a good relationship with this person. Only thing that is even close to a criticism that I will give is the weird fact that it took them until their retirement announcement to realize that fellas is not a gender neutral greeting. Literally, every email I've ever gotten from them that was addressed to a group of people started with the word fellas as a greeting, no matter the fact that 90% of them involved women as well. But
is
for
he
this one,
fellas with guys,
I guess for this one, he started it with ladies and gentlemen.
Ain't that some shit?
I'm like, yo, so
ain't that some shit?
Really?
Yo, fellas.
Like, what are we talking about?
That's weird. That's weird. That's
the only criticism I can have.
50 years and that's all. Then
I mean, that's pretty good track record. But it's also weird.
I can't imagine.
Like, how do you not understand that fellas is not gender neutral? Whatever. Anyway,
I just can't imagine 50 years.
50 years, my guy.
Working at the same
50
place.
plus, probably.
That's
I ain't gonna hold you.
It's well, I've been doing rap music for 40 plus. But it's not the same.
It's not the same thing, though.
Working at the same place.
Like, for instance, Debbie has been working for the company since the year I was born. And he got years on her. So I'm sure it's 50 plus. Dang. It might not exactly be 50, but I'm pretty sure it's 50 plus.
That's crazy, bro.
That's absolutely crazy. So shout out to
crazy.
Him. Again, he doesn't want any fanfare, so I'm not going to be contributing to that. And I really appreciate him saying it. And him saying it the way that he said it.
And look up to it.
I will not be attending any lunches or breakfasts.
I'll look up to that, yo. Like, that's something to look up to. Like,
I aspire to that.
Yes. I'm just leaving.
When I leave, let me leave.
That's exactly how I just might carry that shit.
That's funny. That's hilarious. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna argue.
We ain't seen Team 2.
You're right.
And you're gonna be like, yeah, you're right. You haven't.
I've been wondering where Team was. Keep on wondering.
Right. Because look, you're gonna be like, I know what a nigga is.
Right. Well, again, to his detriment, the only thing that kind of fucked him up is he's a vice president of the company, so he had to announce it. He couldn't literally just disappear. That wouldn't
walk
work.
Off into the sunset and shit.
But
yeah.
Outside of the fact that he had to announce it, he's like, I don't want shit. Leave me be. I'm gone.
When I retire from this internet shit, I don't want no parties.
Hey.
That's funny, man.
But yeah, that's it.
That's funny, bro. That's funny. We want to thank everybody
Mhm.
for once again joining us for the rousing edition
Yeah.
of the Black Culture Geeks podcast. Please be certain, and I'm so pissed at myself because I came in it was already over, to go check out the Heard It Through the Grapevine part. Yo, I was so mad. I ain't get to do my first shtick.
Because they changed the time. They started at 7 instead of 8 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, but don't be like me and miss Heard It Through the Grapevine. I planned on trolling the comeback. Like they had been gone for like 15 years or some shit. That was my whole plan. Like I was going to be trolling, and I missed it, so I'm pissed at that. Also, don't forget Super Side Guy and my man Hendrix podcast Metas and Mutants. Go check that out as well. There is always music.
Always
music. Either old music, present music, future music. You heard SBJ say he got something that's coming out soon. If he could ever get around to doing promotion for it and shit.
It's not going to happen. It comes out Monday. There's no way.
That's over. It's over.
Yeah, it'll be out Monday. If you're listening to this recording, it's out. If you're listening live, I'll say something again about it next week.
My man GA's got some music coming out. He's working on some shit. He's threatening to release some shit.
GA, hit my Discord, bro.
Yeah, he's threatening. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you haven't already, go to majesticcomics.shop. Get yourself a comic, be it digital, be it physical, whatever. Go get that. Check that out. And expect some new shit coming along. Absolutely. But anyway, for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out. Peace.